Why not worship him?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that?
It seems like we're back. People are
Back, yeah.
Okay.
Apologies for the stream.
Yeah, it's lucky. I don't know how much was missed, but you know,
We're speaking about the Lord
yeah,
being worthy to be worshipped.
right. So I was just in the middle of reading John chapter 5, verse 23, right? So yeah, I'm reading it again. It says that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father, right? So as I was about to say, Yahweh Shai was on saying this, right? And Yahweh Shai was given the will of the Heavenly Father. We all know this, right? If you believe it, right? He didn't come to do his own will. He said this, right? So obviously the Most High set him up to receive this honor, right? And you can't honor the Father because Father was speaking before the camera shut that we ain't directly dealing with the Heavenly Father, right? So we've been given Yahweh Shai, the mediator. This is who we deal with, right? This is who we go speak to, right? Because we can't directly speak to the Most High Yahweh, right? So Yahweh Shai is the one being given to us to be our deliverer, to be our King, to be our Lord. You know, yes, the Most High ultimately is the Lord of us all, evidently, right? But it is commanded that we give honor to the Son as we give honor to the Father. It's the same. That's the same. You know, can't do one without the other.
Yeah, it's like you know, and it's like he said himself, like, you know, if you after you get your scripture, we can go back to the scriptures we was reading before the camera then shut off. We was reading like how he's got a name, he's been given a rank, you know what I mean, above every other man, and that he's to be worshipped, man. And then we mentioned how throughout the scriptures when certain men met, you know what I mean, like an angel or something, and they would try and bow down and worship, the angel would always say like, yo, nah, man, chill.
I ain't the guy.
But
you know what? My phone's not locking the you know when it's got thing on and it stays on, so I'm just gonna have to restart this on another tab or something.
all right. Yeah, we just have to wait on it. I thought maybe it's affected by weather.
Nah.
No, it seems right today though. It's not hot.
Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praise and
One sec.
I just start working. 7.
Yeah, I know.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
See what it runs this time.
Running now?
Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to stay back here.
You running now?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, it's lucky.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah, we should get straight back into it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, we're talking about Lord being worshipped.
Yeah. Right. So again, so that all men, John 5 and 23, that all men should honor the Son even as they honor the Father. Right. So the Most High set up His Son to be honored. Right. This is not what they call idol worship. Because some will try to tell you, oh, you know, that's idol worship. You putting up Yahweh Shai as a god to worship, but you can only worship the Most High. But the Most High set something up. Right. Yahweh Shai, if you really understand, is an extension of Himself. Because he's made in His likeness, like perfectly.
Yeah.
Not like us, we're made in the likeness, but He is made perfectly in His likeness. You know, that is pretty much the Most High, essentially. But that's His Son, because He didn't create. He wasn't the original creator. Right, that's the Most High's, you know, position in the cosmos. Right, so the Yahweh Shai is naturally underneath Him, right, because it's His Son. Right, so He set up His Son to be honored and worshipped. And so if you disrespect the Son, you're disrespecting the Father. Like what man is gonna sit there and let you disrespect His Son? You know what I mean? When He's Lord of Lords and King of Kings. The Most High is not, oh, well done for saying, truthful to me. Don't worry about my son, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what the Most High is on, man.
Yeah, and
You know?
and all you do is that I've scoffed against, bro. All right, so when the Lord comes with his chariots, you know what I mean, and he's been hearing you guys chat shit,
Yeah,
you know, worshiping. Hey, all right, cool. Then don't, innit?
But
Then
that's
you're gonna get zapped.
But that's why I said those that would not
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
the rule
over there.
yeah,
I
we
get
need
that.
to blow the dust of that one.
Yeah, someone grab that. Yeah, those that would have it over them and come here and slay them before.
Boy. So
You've been rebellious,
so
bro.
so whether you do it willingly
Yeah,
or you get forced, it's gonna be done.
it's gonna be acknowledged.
Every need, you don't like in these Christian churches pastors. You know that's what they do. Because every knee shall bow and every tongue. But coming to establish authority on the planet, like all these, they're all gonna be beaten to powder. And whether you're on the right hand side worshiping or the left hand side worshiping, you're gonna worship.
That's it.
Second Ezra, remember it says some was happy, some was bound, some was sorry. So wherever you fit in that, category, you go and worship.
It comes in everybody.
Yeah, that's it.
It was to build up what you're saying. When you look at the statue in Daniel, well, Yahushua represents that rock that basically came at the end, swooped it, took it all out.
Sweep to the playground and that. That's what happened, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, don't don't worship now. It's alright, because you're gonna worship later anyway.
But hold on, yeah.
You know, you're gonna get judged.
Yahushua is gonna get rid of all the idols,
Yeah, that's it.
right? But he's still gonna get worshipped.
That's
So
it.
if you're thinking that, oh, that's idol worship, he's still gonna exist and he's still gonna be worshipped. So
Exactly,
I don't know what you're talking about,
bro.
because you're gonna have to bend the knee, man.
Bro, yeah.
You're gonna have to ask your petitions and towards him and the children of Israel. You'd have to do that because hey, we're gonna be God.
Yeah.
You're gonna be praying to us too.
Yeah. And furthermore, it's him coming in a partnership. So what you gonna do? I can't worship you, but if you don't mind, it's a cool fucking like
get a
there's
ticket.
space on the back.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not happening.
Trailer car.
Yeah. Like, it's not happening, bro. You know, there's and guess what? There are many scriptures on that.
Yeah.
On why he used to be worshipped. So let's get into it.
Yeah, great step. Yeah. So this is the one brother's called for. Okay. I've got Luke 19 and 27. If I may read it in NLT, it says, "And as for these enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king,
That's what you're
the
saying.
Most High is my king." That's
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah.
And that's fair enough. I'm not knocking you for that because he is the king of kings, like the ultimate, innit? But you have to understand something, man. The Most High has a will, and when you don't obey that will, you get fucked up. It's really just simple as that. All this these words, these sacrifices that you're making to their part, it's better to obey than to make sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Just do what you was told to do. Yahushua told you what the will of the Lord was, and you're fighting against it. These enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king, bring them in and execute them right here in front of
Yeah,
me.
and it's like you mentioned, right?
You got those that deny the Lord, the
Yeah.
name of the Lord, and that
Yeah.
stuff, that deny the Lord, right?
Yeah.
So they're enemies.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, look, at the end of the day, of course, you obviously have the Most High, right? You have the Most High, the Ancient of Days, the like, you know what I mean? Just the Ancient of Days, like he's always been the principal king, but he set himself he set up a son, and Revelation calls his son the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
And to show you on top of that, the Lord don't actually mind, right? Because the Lord hasn't got a problem with it. He allowed us to have an earthly king.
Yeah.
When we was calling for one, he allowed us to have one. Because Samuel was like, "Yeah, but you're the king."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, these man, they need something in it. So we're giving this thing here,
That's it.
and that's why we've got a line of kings now.
That's it. A line
know?
of kings.
So the Lord don't actually mind per se, right? And that's why he set his son, because there's only one perfect king that can really rule over Israel, and it's his son. Who better?
Yeah.
Because the Lord isn't going to come down himself.
And you know what? Yeah. Can someone get into etymology, bro, of worship? You know, let's actually see what the word means. Like who is worthy, basically. You know.
You got,
Carry on. I think he's got more than
you got more than that.
Yeah.
Is that- yeah. Okay. That was Luke.
Yeah. 19, no?
Yeah, that's it. Luke 19 and 27. And as
And as for these enemies of mine who didn't want me to be their king, bring them in and execute them right here in front of me.
Like, bro, and that's what is gonna come.
Mhm.
That's what's gonna happen when the Lord's here. You know, like the scripture says that everything we've done decently, like in an order.
Mm.
When the Lord comes, He's gonna establish His order, and get like we mentioned before the camera was bugging out. The Lord is the word and will of the Heavenly Father. He said, I came not to do my own will. So if He's not worthy to be worshipped, when people bow down to worship Him, the Lord would have said, nah, don't worship me.
But the things in heaven bow down to him.
Exactly. Exactly.
Etymology.
Yeah.
Ah.
Worship. Yeah.
This is the etymology, origin, history of worship.
Mhm.
It says high respect,
High respect,
honor,
honor,
fame,
good fame.
condition of being worthy.
Yeah,
And the book says all that. All of that.
and aside from the Most High, the Ancient of Days, right? Who else is more worthy than the Lord to get praise
Well, this is it.
and
The
reverence?
scriptures speak all those same things. We're reading it right now. He is worthy. What's the other characteristic? The other honor, right? We just read
Yeah.
it about
High respect.
his honor, right? He was worthy, right? He was worthy to open the book, right? But no one else was worthy.
Yeah.
Right? These are all spoken of him. So to say that he doesn't have this position that we're speaking on is ludicrous, really. You're really denying it. You're really fighting against it.
I have a quick one. This is Matthew 28:16. It says, then the 11 disciples went away into the Galilee, into a mountain where Yahushua had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
So where was the rebuke?
You could have said, no, hey, no, hey,
Like
stop.
he denied himself being king because it wasn't time.
Yeah,
That was a
because it
prophecy.
wasn't time.
You know, that he did that, but like
Yeah.
in terms of like acknowledging him to be the one, he didn't stop them. He said, all power has been given unto me.
That's
What does
it.
that mean?
Yeah.
Who gave it? Because someone had to give him that power, and the Most High was the one that did it, right?
You know, in fact, I've got more in this in verse 9. Yeah, this is Matthew 28:9. I was in Matthew 28:19. So this is back in this is Matthew 28:8, and they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word. Right. So obviously this is after he resurrected, right? And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, they met. Behold, Yahushua met them, saying, "All hail!" And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Yahushua unto them, "Be not afraid. Go and tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me." So again, oh, in fact, and if you go into the word for worship in the blue letter, right? If you go into it,
Is that what
it's-
Brother had there? Innit?
no, it was just the
online
definition.
Oh, okay.
So if you go into it into the blue letter, it's proskuneo, right? Which I don't know if that goes to the same word, but it sort of sounds like prostrate, because like like Jake's from the West Coast, especially like in Ghana and Nigeria. When you come before a certain rank of elders, you have to go on the ground and prostrate. You actually have to like.
Because it's spiritual. I was actually going to, as soon as I heard, I was going to look in. I started looking into it. It's I think similar sounding, but I don't believe it's
Okay.
related.
Okay, I have a bit more though. But to be honest, when you read it here in the blue letter, it's more or less the same. It says to kiss the hand towards one in the token of reverence. Among the Orientals, the Persians to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with the forehead as an expression of profound reverence. And I've seen that. I've actually seen that. Like, again, most brothers who are from Nigeria, they still do it to this day. Like, before their granddad or their father or the chief, even I've seen it in Ghana, like, you can be wearing gold and jewels, but before someone of rank, they have to go on the knees and bow their head, you know? So it just shows you, man. It says in the New Testament, kneeling or prostration to do homage or make obeisance, whether in order to express respect or to make supplication. So that's what's going to happen in Philippians 2:9. You know? You know what I mean?
And who is it that we make supplication to right now?
Exactly.
Yahweh Shai.
Because he's the mediator.
That's right.
Like,
You know?
Well, that's
That's
what's
it.
hella mad. It's like here it is. Paul like says it in in different scriptures that basically there's no getting to the Most High by Yahweh Shai, right? Yeah, and that Yahweh Shai is the mediator and unto the better covenants, but you're just gonna some way skip it.
Move
what
to the side,
what's up that move in like American football? You do
Yeah.
that, and the guys falling. No, you're not
He,
doing
he's
that.
just another brother.
Yeah, exactly.
One, man.
But this is scripture. These are people that don't have order. They don't have respect, man.
But that is the nature of our people. Our people have always been rebellious, man. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
not, when we see it, it's not like hard to understand because our people have always been like this. They refuse authority.
Yeah. It's like I was say. It's like living through the precepts, right? Because you mentioned the case with Moses. Oh man, we want to chat to chat to the Most High.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really? You want to do that?
Exactly. It's like
And another picture just popped into my mind just now, right? And in the time of the judges.
yeah.
No, well,
Yeah,
judges.
yeah,
but,
yeah.
but what I was thinking about specifically.
Samson.
No, I wasn't gonna use that example. I think first book of Kings, right? I think I was reading with my boy, and one of the scriptures says that Israel at that time, because they had no king, did everything in their own mind.
Yeah.
What they thought was in what they thought
Yeah.
was right.
Saul's time.
Yeah, before they had order,
Well.
right? And this is the thing that's continuing today. They're still doing what they think
Oh yeah.
they should be doing, as opposed to what they're being commanded to do,
Yeah.
right? Because we had the judges that
Oh,
know
but
that told them how
said
to be split, but when they
said-
didn't have that going on, everyone just did what they thought
It said every man did what is right in his own eyes.
in his own eyes, right? Which is your own mind, right? And that's what these
I'm the
Israelites-
king.
Yeah,
You know that was-
this is what I think.
This is what I think.
This is not about what we think or you think, right? This is what it's about commandments, man. What we're commanded to do. We do things according to the way the Most High and Yahweh Shai want them to be done, right? So we'll call upon them. We'll do all these different things. We try and keep the commands to our best abilities because you can't keep it perfectly because we're not in our kingdom, right? And we're in this flesh. So we do what we can, and the elect their sins are not being imputed. So it's trying to be covered. But we're here to do the will of the Heavenly Father, not our own will. Right? So you might feel like that's idol worship or whatever, but it's not. Right? Because it's got it in the scriptures.
This is the book of Psalms 2, I'm reading in every say what? Serve the Lord. I mean, from 11, Mr. Serve the Lord with reverent fear,
Reverence for it, yeah.
and rejoice with trembling. Submit to Most High, loyal son, or he will become angry.
Or you become angry. Submit yourself to the Son. You don't want to submit. You're wrestling with the scriptures to your own destruction, as Peter was saying about Paul's writings. Right? You struggle to accept. Again, because we are hard-headed people, right? And if you're not of the elect, you're going to be stubborn. You're going to fight it, just like Israel always have done. But we're trying to give you the true message.
And you will be destroyed in the midst of all your activities, for his hunger flares up in an instant.
Right? So this reminds me of what I was mentioning before as well, about kissing the sun, lest he be angry.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the same one? Oh, is that NLT? Oh, okay.
And you know what's interesting about that word kiss? Because remember with Kings, with
You can kiss the ring and
he said, I've reserved 7,000 men who have not bowed and whose mouth have not kissed him, which is to worship.
Yeah.
So unto the Lord said, kiss the Son, like worship the Son. So one group didn't worship the false idol, Baal, and in Psalms the Lord is saying, you got to kiss my Son. You got to worship.
So it's showing fealty,
Yeah.
you know, loyalty to that
Yeah.
power. You know?
And Jake is saying they ain't gonna do it now, but you got it.
Bro, you got a choice.
You got a choice.
None of you got a choice, bro. This is the thing. It's not a thing of choice.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, you will.
Yeah. You know, it's like obviously, you know, like it ain't the same level, yeah. But you remember when Gaddafi got caught?
Oh yeah.
And he was just like,
Oh.
he was like,
You're like a regular guy, you know.
he
He's
was
not
ready
ready
to
power
do
ever.
anything. Like if they told him to make a sandwich, that bro, he would do it. If they told him to do a backflip, he
Gonna
might
try
break his spine
Gonna
doing
try
it, but he's gonna do it.
Do it, yeah.
And that's how the Lord's gonna get Earth. Like, what are you saying now? What? I ain't trying to. Oh no, because it's most high. Okay,
You
come back in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The Lord said he's gonna purge out the rebels, man.
yeah, well,
You know?
because I'll say that they're coming in that feminist spirit, man. But
Yeah.
feminism is rooted in rebellion, right? Because that's the same thing. How many women be saying, "I don't need no man"?
Yeah.
Then the bills came. Hey, like for instance, the video I keep talking about with MTR when he's talking into all of the 300,000 Eves lost their jobs in 3 months.
That's
300,000. He basically says in the beginning of the video that basically his mate is getting a lot more "Hey Big Ed" texts,
Yeah.
right? Because that's the thing. So like in that time, it's like, oh shit, I actually do need you. So that's what's gonna happen to these people when Esau starts coming down hard. They're gonna remember that they have a spiritually speaking, that they have a husband to be calling.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's like the same thing about people. We need Yahweh Shai.
Exactly.
There's no other way. You guys think there's ways to you know to prosper and to, you know do all this, man.
No,
There's only one way. Yahweh Shai is that way. Go on.
On point. Okay, this is John 14 and 6. I read the NLT. It says, Yahushua told him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me.
There's only one truth. There's only one way to the Father, right? There's no, oh, we're gonna make moves in this world. We're gonna sign contracts with Esau, and this is gonna put us up. No, that's not the way. You're gonna perish, man.
Yeah.
You know, straight up.
Yeah.
You know, there is no other way,
Yeah.
and so you have to respect that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'll do it some other way. No, there ain't no other way.
And you know it's interesting as well. Remember,
Do it on my own.
the Lord, the scripture says, the Lord came so in sinful flesh, but condemned sin in the flesh. So when he came as himself in the likeness of sinful flesh, he didn't sin. So if worshiping him was going off, he would have said, "Don't do it." You know what I mean? You know, it's like us. It's like if a person comes to us now and tries to bow to brothers and be like, you know, try and give us reverence as if we're
Wait,
the Lord of Most High.
wait,
Like,
wait,
bro,
wait,
listen,
shit.
like, bro, stop. You
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
bro, stop that.
I'm a sinner. You know what I mean? That's what it is, isn't it?
But then if you stand there, you know what I mean? Oh yes, I am the great
Absorb
bishop.
it all.
Yeah,
Like I'm the great bishop.
Powered up.
You know what I mean? Like, then you know what? Before you get in your car, man, you need to look up.
Exactly.
Like a lightning bolt, man.
Got something real quick on that.
Strike your ass, man.
If I can find it. This is Acts 12 and 21. It says, and upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, "It is the voice of a God, not of a man." Right, and immediately the angel of the Lord smote him,
Yeah.
because he gave not the Most High the glory,
Mhm.
and he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost.
You see. But when it's mentioned about the Lord being mentioned, it says you worship him to the glory of the Father.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So when you worship him, you're essentially as well glorifying the Father, because he set him there to be worshipped. He said, "This is my son, whom I am well pleased." Right? But Jake, you know what it is? Jake is just mad that all the 12 tribes gonna be priests in the kingdom. Jake wanna just be I'm the supreme Levite.
I'm
Why
the
not
guy.
me?
Well, yeah. Basically, I'm the chief priest of all the priestdom, so I'm just gonna be the priest.
You know what I was thinking about the other day, though, right? You know, like
But we all gonna be priests, man.
you know, you got that one guy, right?
Yeah,
Who's like, you know that phrase like 1 in a million, right?
yeah.
It's like, especially one of those rare things, isn't it? You got a guy that can do something or whatever. Right? He's the 1 in a million. That whoever's around don't want to be that's that person. They don't want to accept him because they do. Why ain't it me?
Yeah.
Right? Why is it him? No, he's just like me though. Why is he? You know what I mean?
That's
what
what
they
they
yeah, right. That's exactly how you know the same thing
Yeah,
with the Moses. They can't believe it, yet they all want to be it.
Yeah, man.
Don't work like that, man.
Yeah.
You have to be chosen.
Oh.
You have to be chosen, man.
That's that single that single-mindedness, man. Because there's a thing of like, so what if there are 144,000 chosen?
Yeah.
So what? That's just be happy. That's what King David said.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a very good point, yeah. Now, obviously, this is like worldly, right? But you have like an example of that rapper 50 Cent, right? Or one of his right hand man, Tony Rayo, right? And he always likes to embrace that in their organization, 50 Cent is the man, like, he's the head, right? And people praise him because he's always just accepted, brother. I'm not 50 Cent, but I'm just happy to be next to 50 Cent, doing my job, like in my role. And it's like Jake always have this like pride and ego. I want to be the man, and you want to compete, bro. Just be happy, like in your order, man.
Doing good.
Just be, bro.
You're coming in spirit of Esau.
That's it. You're coming. That's it.
If you're meant to surpass him, then it will happen. The Lord will bless it and it will happen. But don't be bad mind, envious, and all these types of things, man. Just be content. Because that's what we commanded to be content. So if that's your situation,
That's it.
just deal with it, innit?
Prime example is John. Remember John the Baptist when his men joined the Lord. People thought he was gonna be like, "Oh, how come you got?" No, I said, "Look, man, hey, man, I must increase. He must be increased. God, like he's like, I'm in my position.
You got guys in the world that Israelites, right? That are trying to force the situation to be that guy.
Yeah, force
and
being
do
the chief-
wickedness.
Yeah, I'm the chief priest. You know, I'm 30 and all this, and now you got pegged.
It's
and,
old.
and now you're on no jumper, man.
True.
You know, so you're trying to force the situation because they got an image of themselves that they're trying to aspire to, right? Because they want to be it. But if you're not chosen to be it, you ain't gonna be it, man. Right? Because where you went and got to where you is now, right? That's because you got fame and notoriety and whatever, right? But you've done it in a wicked manner, man. You know, and that doesn't get rewarded ultimately. You know, you might get this worldly adoration with these fucking simps out there, but when judgment comes, you ain't gonna be on the list of people that I'm gonna acknowledge and deliver.
Bro,
You know, because you're proud.
I mean, like obviously that was just like Jake's story on the different kings and empires. But like you had prominent prophets that was like cup bearers to kings.
I've got a precept.
Like being a cup bearer to a king, bro. Like you
Bro,
think that's just you just hold
Bro,
this cup.
you're in the midst of right.
You're in the midst of
Some of these fans that it would kill to be just walking around Beyonce or something. You know what I mean? Around holding fucking umbrella. Kill for that shit, man.
Because to be the cupbearer, that's a high level of trust.
Yeah, high level of trust.
Because you're the one you
poison
exactly poison the king, whatever. Because that's why I mentioned the thing about Esau. When people are moving in that, they're moving in the spirit of Esau. Because I think it was one of the I forget who said it, but basically the point was, bro, Esau could have just been brother to the king.
And you'd have been alright.
Then let's be real, it's like, and the thing is, we were righteous. We're righteous. We would have been like, "Ah, little bro, man, no big boy." Don't touch my boy, my bro.
You know what? It's like even when the first temple was being built, Hiram, you know, he was a dude that he helping out with the timber and the trees and that. King Solomon actually gave him land and seas. You know what I mean? And he hooked him up, like, you know, like he was just doing his thing, man.
Oh, you know what? Even on that point, because with was it Mephibosheth?
He was
Jonathan's
son.
Jonathan's son.
So it was Saul's,
you know, so obviously, you know, King David, so King Solomon and Jonathan. So I'm mixing the stories up. King David. That's what King David and Jonathan, they had that bond.
Yeah.
So you know, when it was time for him, he was like, "Look, man, I'm gonna look after my boy's son."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know, because he was that
He
close.
sat at the table.
You know,
Well, blessed if he that blesseth you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the blessings, right?
Yeah,
That's the
that's
thing.
it.
So if you can act right, you get treated right.
That's it.
You know?
This is on the point that was made earlier, just a second ago. So Romans 12, from 3, but I'll read into it. It says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith."
As the Most High have dealt. The Most High have chosen the ranks and stations of these people. That's it. And us being not in the know on that level, we don't know where we are in the kingdom, what rank we hold, and all this kind of business. That's why you just stay humble and just do the work.
He's just trying to get saved.
That's it. We'll find all that stuff out in the kingdom, man. Right now, we're just men on the ground, right, doing the work, man. And we're waiting for the Yahweh to come and crown us, man. Right? To, if you know, hopefully of the elect. That's what we're hoping right now. We just even get on the ship.
Bro, you know why? That's that. You know, like Jake in the world, niggas shit. You know, like they just want to be the man forever. Like, and they just want to be bro. Like in the kingdom, this brother gonna be shining. I'm gonna be shining. Lord willing, brothers. Everyone's gonna be shining. Everyone's gonna be happy in their order, man.
Yeah. There are lots.
Like, you know, there ain't gonna be no competition.
Yeah.
What? Like,
You know what I mean? But that's what Jake's trying to have. I'm Levi. I'm 30.
Always
But now you
stunting,
get
man.
plagued, and
Forever stunting.
now he's no more chief priest.
But that should be just the cautionary tale. Because the thing is, there were several before him. There were several before him. But it was like he was the one. He exalted himself above everyone. Right?
he took the fast track to
He
the
tried to,
priest,
yeah,
bro,
bro,
for the highest man
remember,
in Israel.
He exalted himself above the Lord. He
Yeah.
said if the Lord came
Yeah,
because
it's
he's a
sad,
chief
sad.
priest, he got to be wait.
Yeah.
And then you know what I mean.
His
So-
permission, his
Yeah.
blessing.
So anyone who's seen that and seen his
Madness.
fall, right, and you
He
still
wasn't
trying
even
to take that
Yeah.
that route of self glory and stuff like that. Look, man, there's something that I think about every now and then. Yo, the Lord will kill you, man.
Yeah.
Lord, this is a real talk. The Lord will kill you. No, kill about you, I mean avoid you, right? The Lord can kill any one of us, any moment. You know, and that's where the fear. That's why Scripture says in Proverbs 1, right? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a precept on that. This is a quick one. Ecclesiasticus 19:24. He that have small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most
So
High.
you don't need to be deep. Some of you man trying to get too deep. You fucking Hakkars and Hassans and Hassans and shit.
See, the thing is,
Man, trying to get too fucking deep, man. You lack a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, you lack a lot of things, man. I don't know, like you know the name of the Lord and that kind of stuff. That's gravy, isn't it? You know, but like you're just doing too much. A lot of guys just do too much, man, and they're destroying themselves, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
we're trying to be over righteous or whatever the case may be. You can say something?
it's like eat as much honey as is sufficient for them.
That's it, man. It's better just to fear the Lord, man.
Yeah.
You know, and have everything in its right order, rather
Yeah,
than trying to
man.
be super deep, man.
Bro, it's about being saved, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can't outwit yourself to salvation. You know what I mean? Okay, and then you just get beamed up because you're so deep.
Once again, though, that's going into like witchcraft, man. Because that's witchcraft. That's kind of like trying to gain power by going some other way. Now,
Basically,
the Lord ain't with this other way. Even if any man come through, basically doesn't come through the door,
Yeah,
he comes in some other way.
Yeah.
Because they ain't no coming through some other way in this thing of ours, man.
Yeah.
Right? Because once again, he's making it seem that's what Esau's trying to do.
Yeah.
Right? Here it is, either elites, they know the breakdown, right? They know that we are Israel and that we're gonna get all the glory, but they still are trying to fight or find a way around it, man.
Shadow.
So yeah,
Fighting the shadow.
yeah, fighting for the
Everything with Esau is like a backdoor shortcut thing. Like scriptures promise us immortality. What does Esau want to do?
Yeah.
Make up transhumanism, make a potion. Free drafts. Yeah. Always trying to do some backdoor shit.
That's it.
It's from Psalms 84:10. For a day in thy court is better than 1,000.
Yeah, because you know, like even remember when King, the Queen of Sheba came to see King. Yeah, and he saw Solomon's servant.
The glory
was
of the
like,
servant.
yeah, and like just knew, okay, that's him.
Let's go,
And
man.
then he was like, no,
No,
man,
it's not me.
I'm just here to
I'm just a humble servant.
He's just here to open the door.
It's gonna be beautiful, but you know it reminds me of what you said that time, the first time you came back from your place, right? It was just like, yo, in certain parts of the world, when you are experiencing the luxury, and then you go out and you see your people suffering, that is a pain unto you.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit that these guys are coming in. They're coming in that, look, once again, like Edomite spirit of he's doing well, right? But you're looking down at all of your people suffering.
Yeah. Like, that comes, you know, the brother didn't want to mention it, but he was talking about when I came out from Ghana, and I was basically mentioning that, like, you know, you will see people, grand houses, grand palaces, and then around the corner, your own people are fucked up. And like Jake in this world like that. Like really, when I was around certain my family members with nice houses and stuff, it made me kind of sad because I'm like, you know, it's nice. Yeah, I get to benefit enjoying the house. But then you walk out the house, people having to beg, people with the crippled feet, trying to still beg and shit. So, but then it makes you more appreciate what's coming onto the earth, like in the kingdom. The scripture says the least of us is going to be like King David. You know what I mean? The least of us. Like the most downtrodden, the one that's under the train station and he's passed out in the train station toilet. That dude is going to be great in the kingdom, man. That's it. Right, man. And that's when all of us going to be good. But Jake just care about themselves in this world.
Yeah.
Even some people that call themselves in the truth, man. They just want to get on a horse. And be just literally a high horse.
So I mean, that servant that Queen Sheba met, right? To them, you know, holding the door is too low for them.
Yeah, I can't hold the door.
Which means you don't really respect serving the Lord. You don't see it as a high honor to serve the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't ultimately. Yeah. You do what you want to do, what you think, you know, is in your mind to go do.
But that's why the example that you gave was perfect. Let's say, like, I'm the guy that let's say I work with Drake. You know what I mean? I pour his juice in his cup, but I've got pictures of him on the gram and shit. You get all kind of.
I'm not a guy like that. On the level, he's like Giggs is one of them man's cousin, maybe not Giggs, the other Wretch's cousin, right? Yeah. Bro, he just gets gal because he's backstage. The gal are like, all right, the real baddies, they were Wretch. Yeah. Right, let me see. Oh, relation? All right, cool. Let me slide it.
They want a piece. He gets to tour with them on the bus. He gets to go to the parties,
grills.
You know, so he's doing all right. Better than what he would have done. Working at Tesco, whatever, man. So he's doing all right, man. But somehow scheme though, you know, or try and scam man while they're working with him. Don't worry, I've got this, and the manager scam man out of money or whatever, man. Because Jacob is twisted, man.
Can I grab this? Because I was thinking about, because I've said it a few times in the spirit, about how, you know, these Jakes are basically acting like Esau.
Yep.
So John 8:44, which Yahushua is actually speaking to, when it's written and read, right? Speaking to those, wicked Jakes, man. It says, ye are of John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, right? And abode not in truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own, for he's a liar and the father of it.
So just like that, man, anything he gains is never enough. It's the same with Esau. The way he's got, which he's got a lot, is still not enough for him. So you, Jake, are always moving on to the next level of wickedness to try and put yourself up higher.
Remember when Creflo Dollar, I think it was Creflo Dollar, he was basically trying to get the congregation to buy him like a G6 or something, man. I was like, bro, you ain't happy enough with first class. You need a G6.
Yeah, but you don't know the ministry. You know, we have to get out there. I need the plane. Whatever.
Wow. Which on that plane? What
That's what Nate wants.
Yeah.
He's flying around everywhere.
You know, just the way that the Lord has had my life, I've been around people that have flown private and have flown first class, and they've said first class is better than private. Ironic, because the thing is, like, when you think you go on a really tiny plane and stuff like that, whereas first class you can spread your legs, sleep, and all of that sort of stuff. So it's just a way to just show that you're doing so much more than other people.
I ain't got to share my plane with nobody. I ain't getting the bus. I hate getting the bus. It's because for that reason, I got to share all these fucking heathens and shit. That's stinking and shit.
That's it.
Yeah. Right? Fucking babies crying. It's like, no, I don't get the fucking bus. I'll get a car. Drive my car, right? Much more expensive, but maybe more expensive overall, but probably not so much these days. It's expensive to ride transport.
Yeah, it's like 15 quid a day, bro.
You get on trains and shit, it's expensive here.
You gotta do that every day. That's, that adds up.
So it's probably not that much difference
Well,
in
that's-
driving your own car.
Right, that's 350 or so.
I know some of these men paying like $2,000 for like a season ticket to move around.
Yeah.
So what?
So yeah, that's like 200.
I might pay that in petrol, so I don't know.
No, but
it's
even-
can't be that far.
No, but even in terms of like call it a what's this word?
Yeah.
Even in terms of like your monthlies for a car, that's like 2 bills.
yeah, it's not.
You know,
Yeah,
it's actually not that.
after the
big.
car itself, it's
Yeah.
probably not that much difference. Yeah. So but when you get a private plane, you really want to floss.
Yeah.
Like you really want to show, look, man, I ain't like you, rest of you, man.
Yeah.
I ain't like you peasants out here. I gotta fly my own jet.
Mhm.
Get a chauffeur to fly my fucking jet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so-
As I finish out, let me read it again. Psalms 84:10. For a day in thy court is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of Most High than to dwell in the tent of
This
wickedness.
is David, right? And he's the king of Israel.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And he'd rather, if at the very he would rather just be that than like be nothing kind of thing. You ain't trying to do too much, man. You trying to go above your station. You ain't trying to go the right way about it. Trying to come up some other way. Trying to do all this. They would have me just to be a servant holding doors.
What?
Same with any of us, man. Like just to know that I made it. And if that's my lot, bro, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, bro. But that's too good. That's too no, not too good. Yeah,
Yes,
it's not good enough. Yeah, whatever the expression is. It's not good enough.
Which one? Yeah.
It's not good enough for you to be a door servant or Yahushai or whatever the case may be. You don't rate Yahushai then.
Yeah.
You don't rate him.
Because the reason why I got it back was I was thinking about people that say work for the Queen, they worked
Yeah.
in Buckingham Palace,
Mhm.
they would have had great pride in doing that job, right? But this is once again, it's that thing of that's something of this world that people can use, right? Oh, like for instance, startups. There's this particular startup accelerator called like Y Combinator. Whenever you hear like people that have founded companies that have been, yeah, I've got to speak with like Sam Altman. Yeah, I've got to speak with like Bill Gates. Basically, just having a conversation with these people, they laud those things. Like, bro, you just had a chat with them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
Don't
don't
make you
remember you.
They don't make you anything.
But it's because those are things and people of this world, i.e., something carnal, right? They put respect onto it. So that really proves what the elder's saying, and that they just don't respect how
They
much.
don't respect it, man. Because check this, right? Like, yeah, a door holder is not glamorous, right? And Esau in this world tries to feed you with this glamour, in it, right? That's what social media is for, right? To just this heightened living, standard living that you don't have, that you can't afford really, right? But it's not glamorous to be a door holder, but it is a blessed position, right? But you might not never content.
Plus, it depends what door's been opened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Right? It's like there's like some doorkeeper's job is to open a door for a palace that gets used 2-3 times a year. So for the rest of the year, he's living in the palace. I mean, he's chilling.
But it's not mine.
Yeah. It's not mine. But guess
Nigga,
what?
shit.
I'm seeing him there every day.
Your room is bigger than your house that you would have had. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's not mine. though.
You know,
I would have been.
yeah. You know,
man.
unfortunately, I have to use this 90-foot pool. You know, that ain't mine, but I have to use
Man's
it.
getting massages every
I- I
morning.
have to get a massage.
You're complaining still,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And plus, like even like we mentioned, like a cupbearer, bro. A cupbearer is like,
Bro, you eat the finest foods. I don't know.
and guess
I
what?
don't know.
Actual cupbearer he's not just a cupbearer. He's like a friend. He's like an advisor.
Close.
Yeah, exactly.
And even that even situation is what helped the temple get built back again. Remember, they had to search all the histories of Cyrus.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, back then, you know, Cyrus already said it's cool. So if he wasn't, you know what I mean, if he was too proud to be a cup, I don't want to be a cup. Bro, right?
Well, check Joseph in Egypt. he was a servant to one of their priests, right?
Yeah.
Potiphar, right?
Yeah.
Until he got cast into prison, but the whole thing transpired. He ended up being second in Egypt.
Literally, the Pharaoh said, "Look, man, the kingdom's yours.
Yeah, just to run it.
I just got a title."
Yeah,
Yeah.
just send me the tithes.
He even gave him yeah, basically.
Yeah.
He even gave him the seal. He remember he actually gave him his royal seal, like,
Yeah.
bro. So basically, you can pass laws,
You
can
can
make
run
judgments.
things.
Just
basically.
I just have a name, innit?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
it, yeah.
he was the man.
But I said, but Joseph never had no ambition to take over, to run
Yeah,
Egypt.
he
Like, he
was
was just there. Like, he was
Yeah.
there. Things happen for him, innit?
That's it.
But
Of
Jay's
course,
just
man.
is too greedy in their mind. man.
Covetous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, some of these other Jakes and these other camps that are proud and dudes getting pegged. They would have tried to move to his wife. They were like, what? What?
They would have. Yeah, they would have taken.
Yeah,
Yeah, they would have taken.
They would have taken that bait, man.
Because, right?
Part of his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one that people say in the world that but certain
Oh,
Jake
she was
said?
coming to me.
No, not only
Oh, yeah,
that.
no.
So I meant in so-called Israel,
Okay.
where they'll be like, oh, but he was a heathen anyway,
Yeah.
right? Well, it's like, nah,
That's
because that's effectively what the chief priest, as he likes to call himself,
Yeah.
right? He was trying to but he was trying to meander out of the situation, right?
Niggas don't make up any excuse.
Any
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. They will.
a wicked man. Found it.
As
It's
soon as
like-
you call it
it's
to
like-
his will.
Yeah.
The man has to die for his wife to be free, but it's like, yeah, but he's dead in the spirit, bro. They don't make up any stupid shit. They don't make up some shit, bro.
He
Yeah,
says
yeah,
on the congregation.
They would just say some shit
Nigga
just to get their own way. Because they've
Nigga
got
Luke, that's
wicked
it.
lust, man. Oh, yeah, you got precepts.
This is finish that one.
Yeah.
This is Matthew 23 from the top, and it talks about the Pharisees being exposed. From the top, it says, "Then spake Yahushua." I read NLT, Babusha. Then Yahushua said to the crowd and to his disciples, "The teachers of religious law and the Pharisees are the official interpreters of the law of Moses. So practice and obey. In other words, they sit in Moses' seat. So practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example, for they don't practice what they teach. They crush people with their unbearable religious demands and never lift a finger to ease the burden."
Because there's an image,
Mm.
right? Because, they teach the law. They know the law, right? But if you watch them closely, if you was to see behind the scenes when they're not out in the open in the public, they're not doing what they're talking about, right? But they do it in the open. Give the show. And it's the same with these other camps. They do shit for show. But they're not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Oh, we keep all the law. They don't. It's a straight up fucking lie. Straight up lie. And I ain't gonna watch you to know that. But we see you, you see your bullshit, and you're just not doing it.
But once again, that's coming in the spirit of not reverencing Yahweh Shai. If you could keep all the laws, then what's the need for Yahweh Shai?
That's right.
Certain.
If we could have done it on our own in the first place, why are we here?
That's it.
And like I said, we're at a disadvantage. We are severely handicapped being in captivity. We're not even at home in our own kingdom with a king that is, deploying righteous laws that we can all keep perfectly. The situation, you have your farms, your lambs. We ain't got all that shit, man. Everything's dependent on Esau, and this whole world is corrupt, man. You got a lamb that's without blemish. All right, to look at it, it's fine. But the food has been eaten ain't fine. The same as the food we eat is not fine, or the water is drinking is not fine. This thing's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And we can't keep things perfectly. It's just the truth of it. Right? So you can fool yourself and gash yourself up and make your ego grow because I'll keep the laws. And you can do all that, man, but you ain't right, man. And the Lord knows it.
Yeah. Okay. Verse 5, it says, "Everything they do is for show. On their arms they wear extra wide prayer boxes with scripture verses inside. Phylacteries. It says, and they wear robes with their extra long tassels, and they love to sit at the head table."
Yeah, like now, like dudes putting super emphasis on the fringes. But then think about the fringes when you was sending a selfie of your rod to another man's wife in your congregation.
Ordering a pegging kit.
Yeah, or
I'll order it after the Sabbath.
bro,
Like that made it.
honestly, that's what you call a reprobate. Yeah. Man said, you know what? It's Samsung. so I can't order it.
But he
on
actually
Sabbath.
reasoned with himself to make that decision.
And the craziest thing is, yeah, but that's how I know he's got reprobate. Because what's interesting is, like, I know his justification was can't buy or sell, so I'm gonna buy it on the sundown. But on the Sabbath, you always look like, if you remember the video of the friend, the videos, you know, you sending his women like screenshots of scenes from adult freak shit on the Sabbath.
Why is that in
anyway.
your mind?
So he made the Sabbath filthy anyway.
That's why.
Yeah.
Huh? That's why. And now he's retired. That's why
Just stepped away.
all you do is you follow that nigga, man. You ha, you know what I mean? You fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Cause them dudes are scoffing at the apostles, talking shit,
Yeah.
bringing sticks
Hey,
to camp.
but Sakai was the truth.
Sakai was the truth. The chief priest.
Sakai don't exist no more. And it's the same story with all these other fucking camps. You know, these upstarts that come around, tried and refined, or
Oh yeah,
tried.
them,
You know what I mean? They just come by, Johnny come ladies. Think they got the truth because they got, the Lord gave them strong delusion.
Oh
The scripture told you,
yeah,
right? And then they just drop off, man.
yeah.
Become some fucking jump off celebrity, some
Yeah,
shit. You know what I mean? Or whatever, man. On vocab show or some shit.
Don't be surprised. Vocab's trying
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Vocab and Alizar, they're gonna happen.
You can see, like, look, man, look, man, it's gonna break the internet.
Yeah,
It's gonna break the internet. I'll give you 50%.
It's gonna slime buckets, man.
Yeah.
Slime buckets.
Start taking bets.
Oh, well, I'm ready to owe you alcohol.
Bro, because they're a bunch of slime buckets, man. And this is who we're dealing with. They got no integrity, no nothing, man. So we got to deal with them, man. Because they're fucking assholes anyway.
Verse 6 and it says, and they love to sit at the head table and banquets.
Right? That's like Nathaniel. He loves the adoration too. That's why he sits on the horse. You know, oh, love me. Yes, my disciples love me. Chin up in the air.
He's trying to be Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
What's going on?
You know, they praising that man. They got fucking posters of the dude, man. Posters of the dude in the yards and shit. Like, you know, you got Jesus Christ in the yards. You know, you're gonna. Oh, he's got Jesus Christ in the yard, man. These man got fucking Nathaniel in the yard, blood.
Yeah, that's what did they say? At the one Passover, they said we've got his spirit in us.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, because you're under a fucking spell, man. Because you're under a spell.
Oh, that's
Witchcraft.
nasty.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sammy.
And it-
Currency.
table and banquets and in the seats of honor in the synagogues. They love to receive respectful greetings.
And that's why they like the grand events, right? That's why, you know, the people for a Passover, that's like $200 a fucking ticket, whatever the fuck it is, man. There's some grand hall, all the fucking glitz and the glamour. Sakari go to a club, yeah. You know, all this shit. Us, we're just in the yard, bro. We're just in the yard. Humble, you know. I'm not even gonna call it a dinner. I ain't gonna call it that. But you know, we've got the lamb, we've got the bitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a humble service.
You know. Because that's what it's like with us, man. We'll sit there, we'll talk about real reason afterwards. We're not going out to the club afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know?
Bro, have you seen them videos of when they do the Passover? It looks like they're in WWE. Like they're all walking and then they like start the slow jog.
yeah,
Like, for the show.
It's
It's for the show.
It's almost
show
like
for the women.
it's almost like they're gonna go on a turnbuckle with a WWE belt. They're gonna just go on the turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see them there
But
slow
here's
jog.
the thing, like they got the fashion show at the
Fashion show,
Passover.
yeah.
They were selling, having marriages at the Passover,
Marriages.
selling women or whatever.
That concept.
You know?
Scriptures.
Yeah.
Show me.
Show me.
Oh, it's madness when you really think about it, man. But they got all these people on these illusions, man. We're not under all these lies, and you just think it's okay.
Yeah.
And then when we tell you it's not okay, oh, we just hate it because you're bombs. Shut up, man.
Yeah,
It's so old and lame and everything.
Tired. That's tired excuse.
The bump cap.
Because even on the wedding thing, it's like, what do women love say about their wedding day? It's the happiest day of my life. Well, Yahushua was crucified on the Sabbath. Was that the happiest day of his life? You know? Just
And our focus is meant to be there
exactly.
on Yahweh Shai, on the Lord, right? And everything that's happened and what the Lord's done, right? What He sacrificed, right? And you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
When you look at the original story, everything was about to be done and it was supposed to be in haste, exactly, right? because the show that actually showed it pretty well, although it had actually nothing to do with the scriptures. I think it's in season 2 of The Witcher. You remember they basically cast a spell where like the basically the firstborn of everyone in that particular area died, more or less, and you just see the scene where they're walking through, and then you just hear one house with a woman wailing, then another house with a woman wailing, a whole load of wailing was happening around you. And there's something. Look, man, when a woman wails for her child, there's a certain distress, and to hear it, right? They weren't all in there having that. That would have been an evening, right? That would have been just hearing shrieks from everywhere.
The disciples were depressed, man.
Yeah.
But they, even Yahushua was talking to them, and was depressed still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, like, why are you depressed? Why are you sad? Did you know understand the scriptures? But like, yeah, they were depressed, man. They weren't in no jovial mood, man. For sure they were. Peter was fucking broken at that point in time after what he did. You know what I mean? You could just imagine it was kind of fucked up everybody, man. I know, but all you can think about is joy and you know, being in the house of mirth, man. Come on, man, you ain't right.
And it says, verse 7, they love to receive respectful greetings as they walk in the marketplaces and to be called Rabbi.
Have your ass kissed, man. You love it.
Chief of the chief of priests.
He made a mockery to
Chief
this.
priest,
He made a,
self-appointed chief priest of the nation. Now you're
Hey, my priest.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They're my fucking priest.
yeah, he was just chosen to that condemnation, man. To be that example. And that was.
But it's everything that was supposed to say from the beginning, everything that we saw from the beginning. He just weren't right. He was never right. Never right. Not in the day in his fucking life. Born a demon. You know, he's born a demon, man. From that suspect father cell, man.
Yeah, he's the only one born wearing a hat. Yeah. Having kept fell out the womb, man. Yeah.
Back into the source.
I said, what, that was one of his crimes.
It's what?
That was one of his.
And not even probably the worst one. Probably not even the worst one. This is
Crazy. Like once again, like you really gotta think about it. That act is so foul. We don't talk regularly. The fact that he let his woman get impregnated by an Edomite. Like he let, I mean, he let her go out and deal with an Edomite, and then she got impregnated, and she fell in love with him.
Guys,
That guy got
because you can't get that.
He is. Well, I can't be getting hit by something bigger than you're getting hit.
That's yeah.
You know what?
Let's move on from him, bro. Let's move on from him.
verse 8.
Nah,
You're just,
I agree.
no, but he's just a disgrace. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace.
Verse 8.
That guy's
No,
truly a
ain't no one
problem.
gonna pass that up for you, bro. I don't get it, man.
Can't be bluffed.
Don't let anyone call you rabbi, but you have only one teacher, and all of you are equal as brothers and sisters.
Right? So realistically, we're all equal, even though we're not. Right? Because we know there's a hierarchy in the spirit, right? The Torah are higher than you know everybody else, but at the same time, you know, right now we have no actual rank. We're all servants of the Lord right now, right? And though we have rank amongst you know, the brotherhoods for order, right? I ain't no more saved than you are. As long as we are saved, I'm not, you know what I mean? We're in the same boat.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The role, just like as being a king, it's not just something to lord it over with. It's a service, man. It's a job. So if you're a captain or you know you're a head brother, whatever, it's a job role that you hold that needs to be done, right? Because we're servants to brothers underneath us, right? And so you have to look at it like that. It ain't just a role where he's, well, yeah, you know, I'm you know, second in command, third in command, all this and that, chief priest. That don't mean shit here, really, right?
We do 10 push-ups.
Yeah, you do 10 push-ups. No, you don't look like you could do 10 push-ups. Like you, anyway.
Can I grab this real quick?
Go on.
It says 1 Corinthians 9:27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. No, that's it, and that's the fear that one should have, and that's why what ultimately none of us should ever look at ourselves higher than we ought to, man. Because at the end of the day, we don't know our part, right? As it says there at the end, lest that by any means when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. Right?
That's like the worst scenario, man.
Yeah.
Why would you go do all this work just to be a reprobate by the end of it, man?
Yeah.
That's fucking disappointing, man. I'd be fucking, I'd be sad. You know, I'd be fucking sad, man.
And what does
You
it
know?
say? Is it, I think it's in Luke where it speaks about those that knew will then end up getting beaten with many
More
stripes.
stripes, You know,
You know?
It's a book of Luke 14, I'm sorry, from 7. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they choose out the chief looms, saying unto them, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest loom, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him.
right? So going back to that whole idea, I said to bro, you know, Al-Azhar, he self-appointed himself as high chief priest, right? We're not here to appoint ourselves anything. Who are you? Who are we? To appoint ourselves order and rank, ultimately. We're nobody, right? It's something that has to be acknowledged by others and given to you, right? And ultimately, the acknowledgement that we need is from Yahweh Shai. This is what's going to determine where we are in the kingdom. But we already know, you know, well, for us, bro, it's very unlikely of the 12 type stuff. So we know it's not like we're going to be on the highest seats. But like I said, just being in the kingdom is enough.
That's all that matters.
That's
man.
enough.
You saved, man.
If the righteous and scarce make it, man, I'm happy to be that last one on the ship.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, like
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's obviously not the same kind of level here, but like, say like you're like poor and you never ever owned a Rolex, and then someone comes with a group of Rolexes, so all right, because this one is the head, so you're gonna get the 100,000 one, and you're whoever, so you're gonna get the 50,000 one.
But that's like the talents.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
You know,
yeah.
10, give me 10 more, and
That's
so on, right? Yeah,
So someone who's appreciative, like, you know what, I've never had a Rolex, you know.
yeah.
So whether it's the 5,000 one, whatever one,
Yeah.
I'm just appreciative.
Yeah.
But a nigga's mindset is, no, but I can't get the 100.
Yeah.
You know, and it's true. It does tie into the parable like of the talents. You know what? Let's actually get that. You know, the parable of the talents, because everyone's got their measure.
That's right.
But then guess what?
Some man not happy.
Yeah. Then you know we can also get the parable of the penny, because the penny ultimately is salvation. It's just making it.
And that is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the only thing.
where
that
you
matters.
end up after that, it's all
Yeah,
good, man.
Look, man. Yeah. The wives, the slaves, the
It's all good.
planets. That's
Yeah.
coming. Like that's like. I'm sure I speak for most brother, man. We just want to get saved. All the other stuff that's gonna come.
It's just bonuses.
That's just all the bonuses.
Because if I can add, you really think about when your scriptures talk about watch and pray, right? And when you're watching what Esau's setting up to do, just even like I talk about the AI a lot, in the sense of just the kind of videos that they're gonna be having out about us, making us look crazy as hell. We're gonna get persecuted, man. Right? Not only will they get persecuted, but when you read what 2 Ezra 16:70, when I said that they shall be like madmen, sparing none, right? You know, but coming up against those that fear the Lord. The shit that Esau's gonna come down on in these last days against the men that fear the Lord. Look, man, it's just about. It don't matter at that point when you got 10 troops breaking down your door. It don't matter what your title was yesterday. It don't matter. You just hoping that the Lord makes a way.
Just you and the Lord now.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
This is book of Luke, St. Luke 14:9. And he that bade thee, and him come and say to thee, give this man praise, and thou begin with shame
Yeah.
to
So
take the lowest loop.
so like
This
you,
man's greater than you.
yeah, this man is great.
So you need to go down.
Yeah.
Oh, but I thought,
No,
we don't
but I'm a
matter
chief
what you
priest.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No
I'm
matter
the
what
chief.
you thought.
Yeah.
Well, how you saw yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I told you to be sober, bro.
Yeah.
So you can assess yourself properly, and not to be ahead of yourself. So when you really look at yourself, man, we're just men.
That's it.
You know, we don't know our true value or worth or all that kind of shit yet.
Yeah.
You know.
But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest loom, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up higher, then shalt thou have worship.
Yeah, and
Then-
on like a lower kind of level, right? In like Jake, what's that called? Like parties, or you know, like let's say like a Ghanaian funeral or whatever party. There's a table for the family like at the front, and then on the sides like friends and associates or whatever. But only a certain level of family member can sit at the front table. So it's like normally, what normally happens, I've seen it before. It's like let's say a family associate. He thinks he's not really blood, but he's an associate. He just thinks he can sit at the front table, and then the cousin or auntie who's running the funeral or running the wedding feast comes like, oh, son, my God, and then
That looks bad.
and then the person like, oh, I thought there was a space here. No, no. And they have to get their stuff and go and sit over there.
Yeah.
And it's shameful. But if you were sitting over there and someone's like, yo, nah, you have to be here, and then you get moved over.
And this is the thing, when you're humble, man, the experience of being humble when you're being rewarded is so much better.
It's better.
They're rewarding yourself and then being told that, no, that's not you, is it? And having to go down, you know? Because the guy in the humble position, man, he felt good after that. Right? Because he already had no expectations, kind of thing. Right? But when your expectation is here, or you esteemed yourself this high, then you can only come down, bro.
Yeah.
You can only come down.
And then you know, through our experiences as well, because the guy that thought that he should be sitting at that place,
I'm important.
yeah, and then looking at you, huffing and puffing.
Well, that's spiritual. Well, that's what happened with King David's son. Remember when King David was dying?
He put himself king.
Adonijah. He anointed himself king. Got people was screaming, and he made a feast. And then then the priest came like, this guy's not that.
He gave you the.
And then remember the story says like when all the people heard the message, they all left one by one from the feast because they was like, bro, if I don't get out of here, bro, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
With this
I
guy.
can't be associated with this
I
guy.
can't be associated with this guy. Man. And then the rightful king, was the state.
And Nigel got shook after that.
Yeah, and then eventually he went to hold the horns of the altar, and then later he tried to, do some dumbness and got winked anyway.
Yep. Can I grab this real quick? Unless someone.
As it goes on to say, then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted.
That's right. So that's why it's a very important thing to remain humble. And again, it's something that comes from from the older apostles, man. Yeah. Like they've made us very aware of how we should be in this ministry, man. Right, not to be like these other camps, and because they're just in the house of mirth, man, 24/7. They don't know how to really be humble. They act it, they don't pretend and all this kind of shit, but they don't really know how to be humble, But the ours and apostles of GMS gave us the tools required to walk faithfully, man. And truthfully. Yep.
Proverbs 27:2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips.
Yeah, that's just not the right way to do things. Like I said, we got people self-appointing them high chief priests and telling people that they're too old and you need to step down. Well, you need to fucking step down, man. Who fucking put you up in the first place?
You got taken down.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what always ends up happening. And you end up being taken down. Not by us, because we're not carnal like that, but the Most High will get you eventually, man. That was it.
Where was it?
Yeah. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna go back into
the
Lord being
Yeah, a bit more though.
Proverbs 25:6. I'm saying, say, put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the praise of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, than that thou should be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen.
That's right, man. So so you have to be really sober about what it is you are, especially when you know you ain't fucking right. Like for Alazar's situation, he knew he wasn't fucking right, and he was still boasting himself and putting himself up there like he was a fucking, head of Israel. You know what I'm saying? But even in ourselves, we know we're not perfect with the Lord. This is why it's a process we're going through, right? We're always having to fight and contend with the flesh, right? So we can't even imagine or start to think that we're on some fucking high level when you're still fucking in sin, man. We're still fighting, trying to resist evil and shit. You know what I mean? So how could we? How is it? How could I mean? Not saying it doesn't happen, right? Because even that's part of the fleshy battle is battling pride and all these types of shit, right? But that's why you have to re-examine yourself, man. Because we know that's not the right spirit to be in, man. Because how possibly could you think that of yourself, man, when you're just a piece of shit? Because that's the truth, man. And you ain't made it nowhere yet. You don't know if you're the elect yet. So shut the fuck up, man. Just do the work.
The worst thing about that guy, man, is when the chick basically was like, there was a miscarriage that happened, and it was like, yeah, I think the most I was judging.
You already knew. You already knew.
And it was just, yeah,
And you still carry on the fucking bullshit anyway.
you know, no humbling down, no nothing. It was
Oh,
still,
he repented already off screen.
yeah.
And I'm not saying you got to put everything on fucking screen. I'm not saying that either. You know, everything's between you and the Heavenly Father, man. But this guy's just not a fucking sincere dude, man. He's never fucking sincere, man.
Because there was no change in spirit. It made because that's
Because you would notice.
yeah.
Oh man, you would notice.
Yeah.
In that period of time, you would. Those that watch you would notice that. Oh, something different about him.
Yeah. Because
When David was in mourning over his
Yeah,
child, man,
yeah, yeah,
David
yeah,
was.
yeah,
Like, he was worried about it. He was concerned about his
Yeah.
mental health, man. You know, there was a big change in David. Not no fucking change in you, man. You didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and ultimately you didn't repent of your main crimes, which is coming up against his truth. Saying that Yahushua is basically isn't to be worshipped.
Yeah.
Changing the doctrine, right?
Just the knowing prophets and apostles and shit.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Well, the most, Yahushua himself came to the Apostle Paul.
Bro, we ain't never had that experience, bro. So I don't know.
It's a one-on-one to face seven.
I don't even know how you even, you know what I mean? How you can even
No,
do
he
something
was-
like that.
He was one. He was 1 + 1 to 7.
But again, it's just our people are rebellious people, man. They don't respect authority, right? They think they know better, right? And it's just always just been like this. We've had to deal with ourselves like this
Yeah.
for the whole time.
But it's funny because that same dude would always talk about being a crip, right?
Yeah.
In the crip, the gang culture, there's structure and order.
Yeah, but you know who he would be though? He'd be the fucking schemer, bro. That's what he'd be. He'd be looking a way to get up, and it was sucking.
Yeah.
He'd do whatever.
But that same dude has had certain shows with actual real crips, and you see his tone is all humble. But yeah, respectful because he knows,
It's about life, find out.
find out.
I would just put a hell. Because once again, it goes back to that word respect. Ultimately, he respects them, man, right? Because them, man, he's seen that carnal power, right?
afraid of
Yeah, he's afraid of it. But it's like,
That's why man takes this account.
exactly. But these times, the Most High, man, look, man, the Most High can. I mean, once again, he already did. The Most High took one of your children, man. But, I mean, that's painful, right? Yet you still didn't stop and think,
But this is
He's gone too far.
But this is the thing. This is why we know, like Pharaoh, he knew he was fucking himself over.
Yeah.
But he couldn't help it, right? Because the Most High hardened his heart, and his heart's been hardened because he ain't of the elect. It's as simple as that.
and if I can just, clarify, not to say that if, would you call it, your woman goes through a miscarriage, where that there's anything wrong with you, that this is hell.
We're just talking about that.
That we're just talking about that particular individual, right? This is hell, and
Well,
that's
he's the one that brought it up.
exactly.
To be fair, he's the one that brought that up, right? He mentioned that. He said,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's because I did." That's what he acknowledged of what he thought, right? And it's like I said, it still didn't stop him though. innit? He kind of did more. Did you get that?
Hebrews 1, yeah?
Yeah, to 7.
Hebrews 1 to 7. NLT, it says, subheading is Yahushua is the Most High's son. It says,
Speak up.
It says, long ago, the Most High spoke many times and in many ways to our ancestors through the prophets.
Yeah, because the prophets have been in every time period.
Again, it wasn't to everybody though,
Mhm.
right? So you have to take it on good faith that these men had the word of the Lord. But our problem with our people is that they doubt, they lack faith.
And now, in these final days, he has spoken to us through his Son. The Most High promised everything to the Son as in inheritance. And through the Son, he created the universe. The Son
So
raised.
is it not as you break down?
Mhm.
When you read at the beginning of Genesis, it was the powers, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right, and that's really speaking about Yahweh Shai and the angels, right? Because they were sent and given the blueprints to go create everything through the power of the Heavenly Father, man. Right? Yep.
The Son radiates the Most High's own glory and express the very character of the Most High.
That's right. Again, like I said, it's basically him manifested. That's what it's manual is, right? God manifested, right? Because he is exactly like the Most High, right? He's just not the Most High. That's what it is, you know. Yeah.
And he sustains. And he sustains everything. Everything. The Most High be with us. And he sustains everything by the mighty power of his command. When he had cleansed us from our sins, he sat down in the place of honor at the right hand of the majestic God in heaven. This shows that the Son is far greater than the angels, just as the name the Most High gave him is greater than their names.
Yeah. Like the rank and the order. Carry on.
For the Most High never said to any angel what he said to Yahweh Shai. You are my quotations. You are my son. Today I have become your father. The Most High also said, I will be his father and he will be my son. And when he brought his supreme son into the world, the Most High said, let all of God's angels worship him.
So,
Right.
so even as angels, that they always obey the Lord's will.
That's right.
They worship.
Are they idol worshippers too?
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
The angels worship him.
Yeah.
So it like that. The angels in righteousness are righteous robots.
Yeah.
So they ain't gonna do nothing that's against.
That's going to displease the Heavenly Father.
displease the Heavenly
I've
Father.
still got Revelation.
And it shouldn't need breaking down or explaining that the Father is above the Son.
Yeah.
That's the order. That's always been the order, right? So the fact that you know Yahweh Shai is the Son, it's not that the Son is not the head of the Father. That's not what's going on, right? So when we praise Yahweh Shai, you praise it in that order, but it's like he receives his glory, man. He's supposed to receive his glory because it's been given to him through the Father. You know, and just to clear up one thing, the brother was asking me, Emmanuel means God with us, right? So that's why I said God manifest, right? Because it's the same thing, you know, because he came in the likeness of his Father.
Yeah.
Very
And
perfectness.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said to disciple, you see me, you see the Father.
That's right.
Verse 7. Regarding the angels, he says, he sends his angels like the winds, his servants like flames of fire.
Yeah, man. You know, that's it. So that's it, man. The spirit is like the wind, of course, and it's like, you know, they're just gonna go according unto his will. But the point was made already. You know, the point is that even the angels will worship him. So if the Lord had a problem with him being worship, what did the angels know? Nah, man, I can't do that. You know, men, you can say men don't know. But okay, what about the angels?
But they know they can't be worshipped.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm my fellow servant.
Yeah.
You know. So back in Revelation 5 and 7, and he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. All right, we looked into that word, you know, proskin now. It says, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on earth. And I beheld. So that's it. What we're basically reading is basically a reverence in Yahweh Shai, right, in the heavens. Okay,
It's people down here on earth that try to take away a reverence to the Lord, right? Yahushua is the one that was worthy, man. He's the one that was able to redeem us back unto Yahweh. Right? You can read that in Hebrews the 8th chapter, right? Basically about how he was the mediator of that better covenant. Goes on to say, and I beheld, verse 11, and I beheld and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne and the beasts and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands, saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb, which we look into this word worthy.
So the question is, going back a little bit, right? Are any of us worthy to be giving ourselves all these titles and shit? Are any of us worthy to think we're fucking superstar in Israel?
The only thing that we're worthy of, according to scripture, really is death. That's it. Because all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most
It's
High.
through the Most High and His Son's mercy, man, that we're even here.
Yeah, and that's like the only reason why I'm going to make it, Lord willing, is because the Lord said so. It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Remember, like
Of his will.
the Lord doesn't actually need us. He actually doesn't need us to
Raise up stones.
So we shouldn't be going around thinking that we're the fucking shit, man. You know what I mean?
It's the book of Revelation 12 and the 11. Let me start from 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of the anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before our power day and night.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna happen when the Lord comes. You know what I mean? This was gonna be finally cast down. The accuser of my brother, that's Esau, man. You know, like now, it's getting more. I mean, it's always been that way, but you realize like Jacob has been pushed more as the face of being the prophet. You know, like it's like even obviously like a lot of them are evil, but even this whole migrant kind of thing, but you have a large white country trying to blame on migrants. That is hilarious. It's like you guys, it's your leadership.
Hold on, you're the one that's bringing over the government. Like you actually destroyed their nation.
RT, Russia Today, they spoke about that when they were attacking Gaddafi, man. They said, they was like, look, man, you're going to end up with a refugee crisis if you take down Gaddafi. And lo and behold, they had a refugee crisis, almost as if it was part of the plan. Because once again, look, man, just from a matter of national security, if a random person walked into a place that was highly sensitive, you're getting gunned down. Right? It's like, yo, what are you doing there? At the very least, you're getting tased. So you're telling them you could have potential cells coming into the country via the channel, and the UK government's just allowed them to do that. That's nonsense. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Look, man, that's all I'll say. If you believe that that's truly what's happening in this world, and then because what they'll talk about the Russian threat. Here it is, the right. Of course, let's talk about something slightly different. Here is if the Russians, which they do it regularly anyway, can fly a jet, and then they'll send up the UK will send up fighter jets to repel the so-called jet, right? To basically for the state of national security. You're telling me they're not going to check who the hell is coming in on them dinghies? Come on, bro.
Yeah, and
Same with America.
Yeah, and every time we see them, they're all lean, they're all in shape, wiry. Can switch stances.
That's why they always say military age.
But it's true though. When you see them, bro, like these men have been doing burpees, like they're in shape,
and they're just gonna be allowed into the country without no checks and balances or nothing.
Bro. And they wasn't aware.
And they weren't aware. They couldn't have stopped them on the way into the country.
Oh, that's why we need what?
Exactly.
You know, it's an agenda.
It's an agenda.
that chip.
Yeah, need that chip to make sure we know who's coming in and out.
Yeah, and that's what once again these scriptures and understanding the end goal of this place. These stories, you look at them like, yeah, and you just move on because you know what ultimately they're gonna do with it. You know,
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the Russian thing, right? Because in the military, where you all kind of technology to avoid detection and all kinds of
Exactly,
things,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And yet they'll swat them, and you know, and send out their planes to go, you know, to intervene, you know. Yeah, well,
It goes on to say, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
and that's the problem with these dudes, man. They love life too much.
Private life.
Yeah, that's why they all want this money making tip, man. All this business and all this, you know, let's build bigger, you know.
And
Sound like Trump.
and
Build back better.
it's and they're not understanding that ultimately we're under the curses, man. What does the scripture say? A bag full of holes. All of us, we've experienced it. You know, we've been going for a period of time. It's like, yeah.
Or the 501c3 makes, you know, some stitches in the bottom of the hole. You know, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. Funny going on, right?
Yeah, but it's funny because like for what any of us, it's like, see, you win the lottery or whatever, all of a sudden, bill just comes.
Well, no, Esau wants
A
to share.
small
first.
lottery. Yeah,
Esau
that's it.
wants to share
it's just
first.
a share. I mean, it's like, you know, the small lot you might win £1,000 or whatever, like a good bet or something like that. No, then it's like all of a sudden a bill comes because that's ultimately the situation. We're in this place to suffer, and once again, these people are trying to circumvent the setting.
But this is how criminal it is, right? Because the government, right? Because we all know this whole country's in debt and shit, man. There's prices going on and shit, and they're just transferring wealth to the elites, right? So let's say you did well in your life, kind of thing. You got your own yard, and you know you bought it, paid for, right? There's all these fucking kinds of taxes when you got a house, you give a house over, when you die, right? And it goes to the government, right? But where does the government now put that all those assets and that money that or the money that they got from it to the rich, the elites? So they just everything you get goes back to the elites, man. It's everything's rented at the end of the day, ultimately, and you're paying for it. You know, it's just a fucking criminal system that is set against its own people.
And they can just break laws and taxes out of their own ass. Because
Like in October, they're gonna put the taxes up apparently, right? 5p or whatever. I worked that, man. That's like £200 from my paycheck gone. I'm like, so my promotions and shit don't mean shit, man. The pay rise don't mean shit. So what's the point?
and in the same breath, they made it more expensive for employers earlier on. So really, they was like, oh, we're not going to attack the employees. We're going to tax the employers earlier on, right back in April. So you have a whole load of employers that are hurt because they're raising national insurance, employer national insurance,
people.
right? Yeah, because then they're going to be like, look, man, we can't afford to have all of these staff.
When they fucking can, but it eats into their profits.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's criminal about it. They don't want to share.
That's it. And then it then makes a company that can automate more, push to automate more, right? And then now they're coming to attack you from your actual paycheck.
This world is not for the common man. And this is why Esau's the fucking devil. Right? These elites, they don't want to share it with you, man. They're finished with you, man. They're tired of you. They've got machines and AI now. They don't want you around because you're just fucking a drag. You know what I'm saying? Right? And so this is why they're pushing you out. And that's why they're going to enlist you in the war so you can get destroyed. You know, and all these different types of things because they're done with you now, right?
Yeah.
They're in a position that they don't need you no more.
So they're going to bring that pain.
Transition's ready.
They're about to bring that pain because they said we're talking about them people that will be getting on the immigrants and stuff. Well, it's like, look, man, the immigrants they didn't change the base rate. They didn't do quantitative easing. They're not the reason why your wages haven't grown, but the price of a house has trebled, quadrupled, maybe even 10 times. Because there was a time when it was like a house was like 3 to 4 times your salary, and that was it. Now try the average in London. Yeah, the average in London is what average in the UK is like 35k. Where are the houses in the UK? Right,
Sorry, that's 10 times still.
that's 10 times still. You know, where the 90 grand houses? Where the 120 grand houses in London? They don't exist. Right? That wasn't no immigrants. That was your elites that did.
Bedroom.
Parking space.
Yeah.
There's some parking spaces that like 50k, bro.
But that's why some man living in the fucking cars and shit, man.
Yeah.
You got guys living in trailers, don't want to buy or rent houses anymore.
Like even to get a council place, like it's possible.
Well, you can spend, I don't know, man, I'm gonna throw a number out there, but you can get like 50 grand and get a fucking, RV or some shit and just live in that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It'd be fucking cheaper.
Yeah, there'll be some kind of rule. There'll be some
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
you can't, park. Oh, because where you gonna get the permit to park?
Can't park there, man.
Because you ain't got an address.
You know, it's,
Oh,
We'll find a way.
well, now big thing is people living on boats, like
Yeah, I thought about
like on a river.
Yeah.
And basically, every so many days, you have to move. Yeah.
Well, in London, you can only move one way. You can only move once you start one direction. If you start from, say, Essex Way, you can only go in, and then at some point you can turn around and you can only go out. So it's not even like you can just be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go here, then I'm gonna do a little. It's just problems.
Wow.
Yeah, how do you get him out?
You know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Post office, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
pure
pick up
box.
yourself.
Yeah, pure box.
Pick up
and
the
that.
post office.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's madness what people are being forced to do. You know, for the world the Most High created for everybody, ultimately, right? It's meant to be inhabited, right? You still don't want you to live, man. You want you to suffer on it.
It says death, which I'll grab
Yep,
that.
yep.
And I still had
And this is why we need to get rid of the dude, man. But you people out here trying to believe in him. That he gonna change Trump, he gonna make things better. He gonna make the things worse than ever been.
This is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So the point is the distress of nations and perplexity, and it's clearly being built up. Like people upon the earth, like at this moment, are probably at the most frustrating people that ever been.
Yeah.
You know, the unemployment rates are all-time high. The inflation, the
Interest
know,
rates.
all-time high.
interest.
Now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We're about to break records out here, baby.
You know, like the whole mindset of the people is torn apart. Like you got men against women, women against men. This gender, that gender, all of these things.
And that's all pursued in Ezra chapter 9.
Yeah. The people's minds are so confused, man.
Right. Yeah, because like I was gonna say as well about the whole thing, like the immigration thing.
Yeah,
Right.
immigration thing.
What he is doing, he's basically saying, "Hey man, look over there. That's a problem. And then they're gonna put pressure and more pressure on the government to do and enact laws that actually are affecting everyone,
Yeah,
right? And that's what
Esau
Esau does all the time.
to frame mischief by law.
Because then you have a what do you call it, alligator Alcatraz, that they're building in America, right? Then all of these,
Give me ideas in the kingdom, you know what I'm saying?
and, all of these camps that they're making for these so-called immigrants are going to be used against you, because that's actually something I shared the article from the Guardian earlier on, which basically was saying that the prisons in the UK are basically making provisions for the influx of basically people that are going to be going into the prisons because of the protests that are coming, right? So if they're now talking about, yeah, man, because remember they had that boat off, they had a boat basically off of the southern coast where they were basically putting in a whole load of immigrants, right? So what are they doing? If it's good enough for an immigrant, hey, they're gonna do it to a Brit. Hey, they with no space in the prisons, right? You lot are protesting things that we don't want you to protest. Okay, like for instance, that which that was all probably that was a psyop, right? With what was this group, man? The Palestinian Action. Because it's like, what do you mean they were able to just go into the RAF?
Yeah, come on, bro.
The RAF base, like you could just like roll in there. It's like, yeah, bro.
Bro, like it's one of these fucking stupid movies. You know what I mean? Where you guys doing things all that would never work.
That would never work.
There's no cameras, no guards, no nothing.
Exactly.
It's sort of like the Palestine thing. You do October 7th. You do
Yeah. The most
coming on parachutes.
Yeah, the most surveilled strip of land in the world, and they were able to do so. One of the things, how they knew Russia was going to invade Ukraine, is they had satellite imagery that was like, yeah, they're amassing troops, they're amassing hardware.
Mm.
So these same, would you call it, these so-called less than Palestinians were able to get a whole load of machinery and stuff, pilot near the line with mainland Israel.
Didn't know.
And you didn't know. They
Mm.
they one
They've been digging tunnels.
exactly.
They're digging tunnels everywhere, right? And you go,
Yeah.
you got to hospital too.
Yeah. What one ex IDF soldiers was like, look, man, a bird doesn't go close to that wall without us knowing.
Exactly.
You know. And the proof as well that their man just being indiscriminate is when they were killing the Iranian man, those buildings stood afterwards. They got their guard though. They had them guided missiles that went straight into man's yards, right? Vaporized him and his family, but the rest of the building. So it just goes to show you, it just goes to show you that what they're doing is to just level it. And when you're seeing some of the satellite imagery, right? What do you call it? They've just leveled that place, man.
Imagine that. It went through man's window, bro.
Yeah, precision. That's crazy. Precision. But this is the man that we're spiritually at war with. But Jake wants to make it about themselves. But we need protection against that,
Yeah.
man. Oh, imagine you're just in your yard, right? You know, man's just like, okay, yeah, his bed is right there. And they'll get the munition the right size, not to bring down the rest of the building, but just to get you. Oh, Soleimani. General Suleiman, man was just driving in his whip, getting driven down,
Bang,
bang,
all he was ring was
a moving target as well.
hell. Bro.
These are the people that we're in a spiritual battle against. We need protection against that, man. That's why it was Ephesians 6.
Yeah, you see the Hamas and that, they've got advanced warfare, you know what I mean? So they can invade and all this crazy shit, whatever, man. Yeah, Esau lets these things happen, man.
Exactly.
Yep.
This book of Psalms 144, I'm sorry, from 7. Send thine hand from above, lead me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood.
So the trouble represents, the water represents that trouble, man. And the day of Jacob's trouble is coming, right?
When the enemy comes in
Like a flood, right? So there's the links there, right? And Esau is that guy. He's the one with that agenda. He's the one looking to really dominate on another level, right? So he's got you in his sights, right? And the only thing that's really confronting him is the men of the Lord. So they're like prime targets ultimately to get rid of, you know? Because he truly believes if he can, do all these things that he thinks he's going to do, that he can upset prophecy.
Yeah, that shuts up the prophets.
Yeah.
That no one know you can get. But once again, what did Yahushua say, man? You can raise up these stones, man. East doesn't understand the power of the Most High.
We're not the possessors of the word in the sense that like it hangs on us. Hang on us, man.
It's like, what it reminds me of is the book of Eli, right? Where it was ultimately he was in it. He didn't ultimately need to have it at the end.
But this is the thing. This is why Esau's dumb. Because Esau's tried to do this before, right? He's trying to get around the scriptures, burn paintings. He's trying to do all that stuff, carnal stuff before, right? And it's not worked, right? But even if there was no books, what purpose does the book really serve? Only really to educate the elect, ultimately, right? And if the elect are delivered, if they're eternalized and can't be, can't be taken out of the Lord's hand, there could be no books.
Exactly.
There could be no books, and they would just receive it just in the spirit. You know what I mean?
Because the same thing. When you were saying that, I was thinking about it. Yes, the scriptures were there, but we and our connection to it wasn't. That had been taken
That was
out.
what was gone.
That was gone. But then the Lord sparked to open, reconnected us back to it, right? To our elder Abba Bivens, man. That's right. The Lord used him, right? And then that now you look all around the world, right?
You know why that's the truth? Because even now you've got James reading the book. They're not connected though.
Yeah.
It's a spirit that was taken away from us.
Yeah.
That was what was missing, and that's what the breath came back into us is all about. It's us being updated,
In order to open it up.
That's it. That's it.
Can you imagine, man? It's like he had all of these plans, right? The movement, because that's ultimately the purpose of separating the family, right? That's why, friends, you look at certain people will be like so and so and sons and sons and sons, and it'll be like it's been in the family business for like several hundred years or whatever, and all of that knowledge has been passed down and improved upon, whatever, what have you. But as soon as you take away that, or one of the, all of a sudden that gets lost. It'll be like, oh, you hear stories, oh, this art is lost because he's the last man that knows this particular thing. So when Esau was separating the houses, he was separating that knowledge, that passing down of, oh yeah, we're this, we're that, and that's why, for instance, did it with Gad as well. He actively said that he was doing it to basically integrate them more into that Edomite way and to basically get rid of their ways before.
What was the first? Kill the Indian and save the man.
Yeah.
Basically, you make them lose their language.
Yeah.
You make them lose everything.
So imagine he did all of that and we still found out.
Because it's a miracle.
That's it.
Got
can't lie, y'all, but shit, now,
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Right, so that was part of it,
So
right?
played the part in that.
He also played a part in that, and we did well.
Because even though we was going off, right? Even though when the Smoke White Man came to the east coast of East Coast of Africa, right? Sorry, West Coast of Africa, right? We were still keeping certain customs, right? That's what we'll tell you, right? The people were still keep certain customs and that, so there was still that remnant of that knowledge with us, man. But we just wasn't worshiping Yahweh Shai properly. You know what I'm saying? But Esau totally changed that, totally changed it to the point that you don't even know your name no more, because names are important too, as you know, right?
Yeah, with roots. Remember, that whole scene of beating the name of out of it.
So there's no connection anymore to something prior, because you still had some type of connection before, but now you have nothing.
Yeah.
Now you're Toby.
Which even that's
Now you're a servant. You're a
Isn't
slave to someone. That's what you are. That's what we've been told. That's what we want to know.
Yeah. Because names, like a name, I'm sure even this brother would know from Tanzania. You have a surname, you find your village. Yeah. You have a surname. Like even me, like I didn't really know much about my pop side till recently, and by my obviously I was able to meet some family members, but then you're even able to find out your family hometown. You know what I mean? And no custom. So that's why you have to separate names.
Well, no, just like we see that Nigerian tribes Igbo and stuff like that, right? So even just knowing it's Igbo, if you're like, you're prudent enough, you understand that it goes back to Hebrew. And just knowing that it's something like, what does that mean? Why is that? Oh, these scriptures? It's something Esau doesn't really have no connection with, man. And then he'll give you his plantation Christianity to have you connection with him.
Fucking nice, because we'll talk about the name change. Right? But Toby, Tobias, Tobiah, Yahweh is good. So it's ironic because he's trying to, I'm gonna take you away, but he was just actually giving them a more connecting him to a closer name.
But these, but at the end of the day, these names are giving out great names. So now you think you are like him, or when you're not. But Esau's tried very hard to just cut us off from our heritage. The scripture speaks about cutting us off from being a people. So he's played his role in doing that. But guess what? How did this all come back to us then?
Miracle, man.
With the spirit.
After 3 days and a half, let's get that.
And that's why the spirit is above all things at the end of the day. Whether you got books or not got books, whether you we was taught a language or just receive the language, it all comes from the spirit.
Yeah, well, that's why I said the spirit is like the wind, man. You don't know where it's coming and going because Esau it can be like at times, a cat that's trying to catch a mouse, but he finally thinks he's got Jake, and he looks at his hand, like you see that cartoon, Tom and Jerry, just very like Tom finally thinks I finally got him. He opens his hands and his snake will slip out. Yeah. Well, that's Jake's story. Cause that's why
surviving.
The scripture speaks about falling away first, man.
Yeah. But once again, that's also why the story with Esther, right, is such an Haman Malone. It's such one that sorry, I just didn't mean to say that. It's great. Yeah, but and the account of Haman is such a powerful and beautiful account because it's an example of what Esau's setting up. Esau's setting up to get us accused, right? To then try and get and destroy us. But what was the end of it? He's the one that gets
And
destroyed.
it's the same excuses because he told the king, "Oh, they don't worship you. They don't worship your way. They got their
Mhm.
own gods."
Mhm.
The same way we don't fit in the society, or we
Mhm.
don't, we don't uphold this society. We're against this society.
Mhm.
You know, the image. This is what it comes down. There's this. Their image is the society, their way of living and stuff, right? Their rules and regs and that kind of stuff. We are not with that,
Mhm.
right? And that's what they're going to use against us. Saying, "Look, man, they're here to
They're
disrupt.
contrary to our
They're here to
ways, yeah.
disrupt our system and that. They're here against you. They talk about put you in slavery and all this stuff, and that's what they'll use."
TV was an example of that. That was a part one. That was basically they hate our freedom.
Same in Rome.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always the same play, man, but it's just the twist is
Yeah.
slightly different because the time we're in,
Mhm.
you know. But the play is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because we're not with you. We're not with the world. We're not with your idols and your systems and shit. Because it's all wicked.
Yeah.
You know.
Psalm 7:15 says, you know, he hath digged the pit and he's fallen into the ditch which he made.
Mhm.
You finish up. Jeremiah 17:4 says, "And thou even myself shall discontinue from thine heritage, but I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever."
That's right. So we fucking touch on because we discontinued, right? But when you read a similar, but when you read Hosea 1, right, and 10, it says, you know, basically, you know, I'm basically Lord's going to discontinue with you. I'm not going to deal with you anymore.
Mm.
Right. However, at the end of the story, I'm still going to get you back. And in the land where it says that you weren't the children of Israel, you're going to be made children of Israel. Right. So that's the thing. Esau's trying to fixate on that one part of the story. But the full story is that we was going to fall away and then that we was going to come back.
And that preceded all these other books because Moses knew all this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he wrote about it, right? So anytime this happened, anytime it happened to Israel, they always knew they could come back.
Yeah.
That's why they would turn to the Lord.
Yeah.
Because if they thought, "Oh, the Lord left us," and that was always going to be the end of the story, now, why would they try and do that?
Mm.
They knew the Lord would listen to them if they turned back to Him.
Yeah.
And that's what we're told, because that is what we're told.
Yeah.
Repent.
Yeah, I never looked at it like that. And that's why this time we had to be almost like severed from the name, from everything,
The land, everything.
you know.
Which
This is the worst condition we've ever been in.
which in spirit really shows how powerful the Lord is.
Mm.
Which is why, like, Jay can be so lost, they can be scattered,
Yeah.
look different, be speaking all kind of language, but the
Like
Lord is still gonna-
Esau literally destroyed us
Yeah.
as a people. He has literally destroyed, because never in any other captivity have we not known ourselves like that.
I would precept.
You know what I'm saying? We always knew we were Israel. We always knew our forefathers. We didn't, but come to America now, and you know, when we get scattered everywhere, we didn't know shit.
Mhm.
We didn't know nothing.
This is Revelation 11:8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Right? And you know, that's Jake in a dead state.
Yep.
You know, which Babylon the Great, which is America, which is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. You know, like, I mean, being spiritually Sodom itself speaks for itself. Babylon is the birthplace and you know of much wickedness that has gone throughout earth to influence it. Egypt being a major place about slavery as a nation, even to the point if you look on their money, you have the pyramid there, right?
And even when you look at it spiritually, man, just kind of came to you just now, right?
Yep.
When before we came out of Egypt, we wasn't really a nation like that. It's like coming out of Egypt was like a birthing of our nation. Because even though we was a people, we never had a land. The Lord was going to bring us to the land of Israel, right? But like, this is the same thing that's going to happen now. We're coming out of Egypt to go home, to go to our homeland. The Lord has given us, man. That's why the Lord uses certain specific comparisons, right, to this modern time that we're living in. Egypt's important. It's not just anything, right? Egypt's used for a purpose. It does represent a time of great slavery for us, man. Okay, before we became the nation that we became. You know, before we got the land of Israel, before we had kings and all these different types of things. You know, and obviously a great deliverance took place.
Yep.
Now we were delivered from the hands of other enemies, but not in such a spectacular fashion. You know, but this is going to be grander than all of that. So it really is an Egypt situation.
Yep.
You know? Go on.
Yep. I've got more, and it says, and they of the people and kindred and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to
Because we was supposed to stay in that state, right? And that's how Esau wanted it, right? And there was no like, let's say Esau had the victory over us, man. He had got to speak. None of us who claim to be Israelites, none of us even talking that any of that stuff anymore. So we're just servants in his kingdom now. Imagine the day when it come about, or other Bivens, right? That this truth started to come out, man. It's like, bro, the man, yeah, how? Miracle. You know, we even told them that we were the Jews. Right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, why are they even thinking that?
Yeah.
You know, Esau's done such a number on us. So the fact that this truth came back to us like that, it could only be a miracle.
Yeah. And again, that 3 days and a half, man, is that, you know, height of slavery.
Yep.
Right. That's 1620 to 1970, where the spirit of the truth was, you know, now it's been opened up in the earth. But even throughout the period of slavery, the Lord was still like showing like Jake having some consciousness of certain things, like in terms of like you know, songs like Swing Low, Chariot. You know, even though Jake didn't have the knowledge, like, why are you in slavery talking about the Chariot and River Jordan?
That's something to you.
But where the people of God?
So what do you know about that? We got you from Africa. What do you know about Jordan?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense otherwise, does it? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, wouldn't it? It's like, why do you know about that?
Exactly. And then, you know, just, you know, like, you know, that song, she'll be coming around the man, and when she comes, and then you go to the earlier lyrics, it goes into King Jesus. It says King Jesus is coming with a band of angels. You know, that's all you knew, you know, was coming. But again, starting off with, you know, the you know, great, you know, the apostle Abba Bivens, like, you know what I mean? It was amazing. You know, Elijah to turn
For the good for
yep, you know, to turn our hearts to the children, fathers to the children. Yeah. And basically, you know, because we know who he is in the spirit. Back then, he came to prepare the Lord's way, and it's like now because the Lord is coming back, you know, the truth had to get opened up.
And that also then shows also that this is all just a preparation.
Yeah,
This is all a rehearsal. Because when
Well,
John
the
was baptizing, man, it's like, it's not like, this ain't the full thing, but the one that's going to come after, he's going to baptize you with fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm doing my thing, but really, this guy you're waiting for. You know, and so we're under that kind of thing right now. We're doing what we can to try and, you know, keep the laws and, you know, follow the commandments best we can. But always Yahweh Shai is going to come and deliver us and make us perfect. You know, that's what we're waiting for. So we're in that. That's, I mean, it shows you that, you know, we're not going to have things, you know, down completely right now. You know what I'm saying?
we're exercising our obedience.
That's right.
And it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell upon the earth. And you know, the gift was Jake, man, because you know, something I'm a Lord willing, you know, do a video on. Like during the height of slavery, man, it was a whole business. Many nations that you don't think benefited from slavery benefited from slavery. You know, like the title of the Lord willing we're gonna do this week, man, is the economics of slavery. You know, like think about like the companies that built the actual slave ships, where they got the wood from, the timber companies, the companies that made the chains, the companies that exported food for the slaves and clothes for the slaves. It was a whole business to so many nations you don't even think about, whether it's a Poland or Russia or what. Like there were so many other countries that benefited, man. So when it talks about us being the gifts, Jake's was literally the gifts, man.
Boy for wine.
Boy for wine.
And I say, you know, you nations did a damn thing to, you know, help us or prevent it from happening. So why are you going to be asking for mercy now?
It also kind of just that what the bro's going into just now just made me was thinking about how it just really highlights that the conversation of the two main characters are Jacob and Esau, right? Because let's not forget the Arabs, they had a hand as well, and some say even certain things that they were doing were a lot more brutal.
Yeah,
But the main focus is Jacob and Esau,
yeah,
right? Because that's who the battle really is with.
like even I asked Chat GBT about this the other day. He gave a breakdown of countries you don't even think about, and it was like it goes economics of slavery, right? And if you go into like ropes and textiles, it says the British, German, and E- 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 Italians, like even just rope, you don't think about it. Rope, but like, with the ropes, even the ropes were tied to a business, you know. And then it mentions like Birmingham, like even some of the mint coins, the coins that would be used for business groups. There were certain countries where it was mined from, and they minted the coins and made coins. So the whole purchasing power.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that even from that time, the world had a quote unquote like global economy, if you will. Yeah, to some degree, because it is a thing. Like, for instance, let's just use the current war at the moment, Gaza and Israel. You need some way of you need the fuel. That's one, just to get the jets over there and fly over. Then you think about all of the missiles. Now, when you look at the missile, right, missiles have like a lot of rare earth minerals, with elements and stuff like that.
It's like we were talking about the tariffs, right? There's components that make up these different things that come from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it has to go from one place to another place to go get this, to get that, to come back to America.
Yeah.
Like, so, like I said, there's always these smaller components, the bigger things that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
They all come from the same place.
Yeah, for example, here it mentions Denmark, Norway. You know what I mean? And it mentions about operated the Danish West Indian Company, administered St. Thomas, St. John Crux, Danish traders and officials profited from the sugar plantations. So like amongst Esau, when you think about Esau's a devil, you think the white, like Americans, the
main
British.
parties.
But when you think of a Dane, oh hey mate, Danish, Norway, hey,
Ireland.
Odegaard and shit. You know what I mean? Scraping his hair. You might think he's a nice guy, but no, even them niggas benefit from slavery, man.
I say, if you purchased anything to do with slavery, you're part of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And sugar was a big thing.
yeah. Even how do you say that word, bro? Dance, innit? Dance. Yeah, Poland, right? It says exporters of hemp and flax sell for rope industries. So even the Polish had a part to play. But you don't think
money
about
came their way for it.
someone in Poland was making dough.
Dope, they'll make a bang.
Bang, sorry, bang.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
They cornered the market, bro.
yeah. And then the message over there in Hamburg, man, in Germany. It says investors in the Royal African Company firms profited from manufacturing and financing tied to slavery.
Even just you saying some of these company names, I think of the precept, and they call their lands after their own names. Like Royal African Company. Yeah, we know African from Leo Scipio Africanus, right? But it's the fact that it all called, East India Company. We're just going to co-opt that. Yeah. But that was the power that was given into this man's hand, right? It's Job 9:24.
So it just shows you, man. So it's like, bro. So when it says that it was given gifts, bro, it's like it's really a gift. Like what our apostles would say that, like, Jake was the gifts. But when you actually really think and research about it, Jake was a business. He was a walking business. He was a walking
opportunity.
He was a walking opportunity, because even the sackcloth, because it kind of feels like sackcloth when you're wearing, but no. Is it?
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like that was tied to business. The chain, the bar, the scripture speaks about, and thy feet shall be brass and the head is, well, the one in Deuteronomy.
Iron,
yeah. Like that, someone was getting paid from that. You know. So Jake was the gifts. I'm just gonna finish the last verse.
Pimped out.
Basically, you know, and it says
For a spoil.
for a spoil, and it says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Lord entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear that which fell upon them and saw them.
And that's what's happening now.
That's what's happened, man. Imagine that. Just knowing for centuries, these man ain't, you know what, Jake? These man ain't on nothing.
They're just slaves.
They're just slaves.
Yeah.
And now, you see what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And the thing is as well, I think about this sometimes. Esau should have definitely should have never made the internet. Not just primarily because of the truth, that's the primary thing, right? But then also it's like these nations now, they're kind of getting to see a bit more about Jake. Because before he was the arbiter of truth when it came to anything to do with us as a nation, right? Whether it was MTV, whether it was the Latin version of MTV, you know, BET, all of them kind of institution. That's how the rest of the world saw the Israelites, right? But now with the way of the internet, they're starting to interact and to see Jake more in a natural way. And they're like, you know what? They ain't, don't get me wrong, there's a whole lot of degenerate ass niggas. Not taken away from that. But they're also starting to see, Jake is actually something. So what is this Edomite really talking about? And in the same breath, you're getting exactly seeing what you're doing. Right, they're seeing like, you know, we always talk about during the World Cup or Euros that were in Wembley, right? That was aired out throughout the rest of the world, right? It wasn't just here that we were looking at it in discuss. You would have been seeing that in other parts of the world. Like, what the hell are these guys doing? Right, then you're getting Psalms 82 speaks about, their tongue shall fall upon themselves, right? And the fact as well, you read Habakkuk 2:16 about the shameful spewing. Right, like that whole George Floyd era thing, that was all a big mess, right? But a lot of truth came from the back of that, where people online were basically speaking about your crimes, speaking out about all of the heinous things that you have done. And as the brother was kind of touching on the different countries where you have certain institutions, certain families, right, that were basically being called out. Right, for instance, we did the one that you did, you set up, about the Lloyds of London, right? But and they're still insuring ships to this day. To this day, like those big tankers, those big tankers that you see going up and down the world, they're still insured by Lloyds of London.
Yeah, we were still meaning to take that trip to Lancaster.
Yeah.
You know, that whole town of Lancaster, which that was they made they came rich just because of slavery.
Yeah.
There's so many places in the UK, like obviously there's the obvious Birmingham, London, Bristol.
Yeah.
You can think about, but there's other major little towns. It's like, apostles always say
it's like a place in a country where all it is tourism.
Yeah,
and that's where you live.
Yeah.
Some places live all your slavery. That's why they exist.
Yeah.
Wealth is not lost; it's transferred.
I was gonna say it explains why certain places just have that energy. I'll never forget the energy that was delivered from Liverpool. That was a very. But
it's like Jake had like puppy dog guys. Like Jake said, it just looked like they were speaking to. And guess what? There was so many people coming up to us, telling us there's a lot of racism about it. You know what I mean? There was like a lot of them would just talk to you about the race claim, right? And because I think they say some of the oldest Jake communities in the UK because of slavery.
I remember one time with a brother on the job. I remember one time I was on the job with a brother, right? He was working and everything. I forget the name of the town, right, that we were in, but the energy was just like, and we're not talking about like, you go to certain places where you get like them straight up race. What do I call them, man? Stone Island, Jake. Them Stone Island Edomites, man. You know the ones, right? What, mate? What are you doing around there?
Yeah, EDL guy.
Yeah, the EDL guy, right? It wasn't one of them. This was an uppity kind of area, but the spirit was just wrong. And then now you're looking at back into how certain of these places got their money, got their come up. You're kind of okay.
Pubs, even certain pubs,
yeah.
little pubs Yeah, bro. Pub chains. There's pub chains
Yeah.
that are, because pubs are one of them places that slip through the cracks. Like there's pubs that's been there for like over 100 years.
Funny how you use the word pop chain.
See what I'm saying?
Pop chains.
You know
Okay,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Okay.
like these pub chains, bro. A lot of them had their money from slavery.
Yeah.
Remember, like how niggas do insurance scams now, right? When slavery was so-called abolished, bare of them just did insurance scams.
Mhm.
Like they would actually go in the middle of the sea and have baby boats inside, and then they'll just explode the boat with goods on it, or just slaves on it, or say there was slaves on it, and they'll sink. And then can I get my insurance payout? And that was it.
Yep. And then once again, Esau is being revealed to be the low down, dirty piece
Criminal.
of shit that he is, man. Right, and that's another reason why he don't want us on the scene, because we don't revere Esau. You ever around some people that revere Esau, and you're looking at them like, what's up? But then you realize they just don't know. They don't. But once again, because right now there's a covering on the nations, but the Lord is starting to peel that off, and as Esau comes down harder and harder. Right, like for instance, what you're seeing over there in America with Trump and that, some of the policies he's enacting. The rest of the world is seeing that, not only seeing what he's doing, but seeing the response of his supporters supporting certain things.
Esau gets real upset when you don't respect him.
Yeah,
Right? He's got PTSD, right, from when he was Cain. Right? When the Lord didn't respect his sacrifice, right? He got PTSD, man. Right? Edomites get angry. Because they're like, why don't you respect him? Look what we done to you. Am I not kind? These men actually think that there's something that they've done some kind of good on the earth, man, and that they deserve to be respected. But when you really look at the history, man, all they've done is death and destruction.
That's it.
And they've afflicted us big time previously. Right? So when we speak to them and tell them that what you've done is wicked, it's like, no, but we're good. We ain't good. You turn around and say what we've done is great. It's not great. The Most High hates you. Oh, you don't hate me. No, he does. But I say, but you're living off that PTSD, man. You're just like, you can't shake the fact that you don't get respect because you want it so fucking badly. But we don't respect you. Right? And we're going to tell you exactly what you are according to the scriptures, man. We're going to reveal your identity because you're hiding it. You're acting like you ain't Esau. Right? But you are Esau. It could be nobody else. It could be nobody else, man.
It's
Make that make sense. You know what I mean? It can't make any other sense.
He's been the last samurai, right? The last kings of Egypt, right? The new kings of Egypt.
It's like we ain't gonna get completely spiritual to do, man. We just tell by you and your actions that you're just the Esau. Yeah,
Exactly. But he's never.
He's just not the Edomite.
Exactly. Not the Edomite. The first Edomite, the last.
I ain't the wicked.
He would say it's everything, bro.
Yeah,
No,
not in everything.
It'll first disown that.
The first Ghanaian.
Last Mohican.
Last Mohican. He's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That nigga everything. He nigga everything, bro.
I'm gonna ask AI one day what color's my.
Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? You gotta look at all of that.
But when you bring out Edomites,
Edomite, it's
they're running for the hills, man.
it's some people that's,
Everybody else.
yeah, some people
Anybody else.
that's got some goats at the back,
Yeah.
back of the mountain top. Hey, yes, I'm Esau. How you doing, brother?
It's probably say Esau best part. So, the Arabia flag, because the Arabians got a sword in their flag. Bro, them man ain't got shit.
Well,
Them man still riding on camels.
they need Russia. They need Russia.
Bro,
Right?
you think Saudi Arabia gonna rock up to any nation and do them anything like that?
What's in the house? I can't remember. Oh, look, the House of Saud. Was set up by the Americans.
They're the power in the earth. Esau is what the earth is doing his hand the wicked, and Esau is the end of the world. You've got those two together, and you've got your fucking answer, man. It ain't fucking hard,
If they're saying the world end of the world, we fucked.
bro. What's coming next?
Look, we still have to wait for the Edomites.
Yeah. Basically, brother. All your back pain ain't going away.
It
Like,
ain't going.
Oh.
it ain't going away like on this side.
But you know why? You know why it can't be? Because there's just not that many kingdoms on the earth that was prophesied about.
That's
That's it.
That's what it
Yeah,
comes down to.
yeah.
Shit.
Numerically can't add up,
Yeah.
bro. It can't add up. It's you.
If this nigga ain't the Edomite,
Mm.
lost, then who is? Because I'm
If
scared.
not,
now.
where, if not
Yeah,
wearing
so-
who is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Shit.
But this is why they
That's
let
the question.
you let can't be deceived.
That's it.
Right? We know exactly what it is, and you ain't gonna tell us no fucking different. Right? Vocab can say what the fuck you want to say, man. Everybody can say what they want to say, but the fact is, man, you go into slavery,
Yeah,
That's
man.
right. Yeah.
right? Because you are the wicked the Bible speaks
Hey,
about.
they say
Yeah.
seeing is believing, right?
Yeah, man.
And the
Let's
thing
actually
is-
get scripture.
And
on
yeah,
that.
it can't. And just one thing, and there's no way you're gonna admit it because you're Cain.
Mhm.
You're a fugitive in the earth, man. You're never gonna admit your crimes.
Yeah.
So we don't expect you to fess up. And
Yeah.
I know some of you might say, "Oh, you know, I'm leaving," but realistically, you may not ain't trying to own
Yeah.
it.
And guess what? Those that do feel guilty, they're probably Jake anyway. They're probably
Probably
Jake,
are.
the scattered Jake that just
There's
out
turmoil.
conflicted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turmoil.
Like that one Jake used to be around us. The one
Oh,
that
yeah.
couldn't accept that
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he was a white Jake.
Yeah. Him.
Like he's
Yeah.
he ain't around no more, but
Mm.
he's a Jake. He was
Yeah.
an Israelite. But he just needed
From Albania.
he was Albanian.
The thing is, try to tell us, like, bro, like, we grew up with Albania. There was some blood clot niggas.
That's some nigga.
Excuse me.
No,
But you can tell, like, when all these immigrants, right? You see, man, they do the same things Jake do, right? Man, I stand outside shops and shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
no,
with
it's
the Tilly, driving Mercedes Benz and shit. They're all trying to do the same thing Jake's doing.
you know, it's spiritual because I was watching the videos and the apostles were speaking about how, like, a point that Apostle Tahar mentioned once was that with the tribes, if you live around the tribes
Yeah.
over there in Babylon, like if you
No,
grew up
I
around
understand.
Ephraim or Issachar, Zebulon, if you kind of get to know them. But for us over here in the UK, we like Babylon, their thing, even though they got all nations, they have a lot of regions where it's dominated by like they say that's like
You know,
little Ghana or whatever. But
and America's huge, so little maybe 30, 40 miles.
but here, like we all grew up with Turks,
Yeah.
like
Bangladeshis.
Bangladeshis.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like a lot of us brothers here, the whole scattering thing wasn't really. It wasn't a big deal because we were
Grew
in
up
school.
with it,
we-
yeah.
Like my next door neighbor, the Jake, he's a Turkish guy. He was a Kurdish guy. But when we was growing up, man, we was boys, like, you know what I'm saying?
Jake's got that connection. Yeah.
So that's why the scattering thing is not really, for me personally.
Yeah.
bro,
It's,
like,
it's how where we grew up.
Yeah.
It's circumstantial. Fucking
what-
grab this.
well, even in this camp,
One after you. Yep.
like even in this camp, most of us are not on the side. It's just like you, you just elder over here, elder Ramar, elder Rukaya Kwam. That's about it. Oh,
Cowboy.
Azar, Kakao Bai,
Yeah.
Yakanan. But
Yeah.
when you got like a
But
20,
more than half the
Yeah,
camp.
yeah. It's only like a third of the camp is on the side.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
It says Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Like I mentioned earlier, it's a spirit that's above all things, right?
Yeah, man.
Right? Instead of going by all this carnality, you know, eyes and all this sort of thing, because all that stuff can be deceiving,
Yeah.
right?
It's
And so you
spiritual.
really have to really get into the scriptures and like just because there's Jake that's not gonna gel with the scriptures, right? We know this anyway. But those that do, it has to mean something, man. It's just not anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's if Baruch chapter 4 tells us that we're gonna
Oh, yeah.
gather them by the word,
Yeah.
right?
Let's
Then
read that.
how can they not be Israelites then? If they're being gathered, if they're being drawn in.
I was going to say as well, and but the thing is as well, some people got offended past the point, right? For instance, a lot of Irish, man, they don't want anything to do with the scriptures because they've experienced the wickedness of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, they're distrusting.
They're distrusted. So for them, they're just like, look, man, we've seen people misuse and abuse this book. Therefore, I don't want anything to do with it. And same again, you get people that have been, let's say their cousin was an Israelite and they saw them get, used and abused or whatever it is. Then they're like, nah, I don't want anything to do with it.
That's what's happening in the world, man. Because Esau has used his Bible to do kind of man. People are like, this ain't the truth. Just because of what Esau's done, or what wicked Jacob done in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So because they've used it for wicked reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say as well, like the whole Palestine thing, bro, because they're effectively using the Old Testament right? Rather, what they call the Old Testament to justify what they're doing.
The
to
man,
them
the
people.
man calling them
Amalek.
the Palestinians Amalek, man.
Come on,
That's mad. That's mad.
you know.
But that's the work of the devil, though. He'll use things when it suits him to. Any other case, no, that's not that. He don't mean that. You know, whatever, man. Yeah. Got that.
But Luke 4 and the 36. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Most High.
Yeah, man.
Lo,
And it is a joy. It is a miracle. Because how is it that, like, from being a no nation to like being literally individuals in the world somewhere
Yeah, it's
to the Lord bringing us all together?
what, and as well, remember the scripture calls what? Gospel, good news. It's just a joyful thing.
Yeah.
To be told, like,
We ain't gonna be stuck here, bro.
we ain't gonna be here.
stuck here. Like,
You know what I mean? It'll all be over,
that's it.
and we won't have to cry no more. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, it's real, man.
it goes on to say, Lo, thy sons,
Thy sons. So if you have a so-called white 6 foot, so-called looking 6'5" white brother with a big beard, zoofed up, you know what I mean? If you got a brother, man, like that,
Oh, it's what it is.
he's an Israelite. He, bro, like, and one thing I want to say, man, bro, you can't fake Jake. You can't fake Jake.
And you definitely can't fake the Lord, man. You can't
fake the Lord.
deceive the Lord.
Yeah.
Like, you can't deceive the angels when they come
You
down.
got pushed out anyway.
So,
yeah.
you know, whether you guys think there's Edomites in the camp or whatever, man, it only don't fucking matter. Let's be honest. If he wants to,
Shit.
if they want to play the role and then they're not Israelites, then they don't matter because they're going to be destroyed anyway.
And
You
guess
don't
what?
believe, you know?
If let's say Scoffer say, oh, you got Edomite guy. He's doing more than you are.
Yeah.
So
you should be ashamed.
Yeah,
But like, but
you're at home not teaching.
like earlier, man, Jake is just never fucking happy anyway.
Yeah,
Because you know, these be like a fucking grade of how black you have to be to be an Israelite, innit?
Yeah,
Oh, I'll be
You gotta vote for Biden.
You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
You know? It's like if you're light skinned and you got Ramza, or it's just Jake's never fucking happy, man. You know, they always find a reason or an excuse why you can't be this and you can't be that, but they don't understand.
Well,
the anyway.
remember Captain?
Yeah.
Remember when Captain Tazara, that little Ghanaian boy,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that the Ghanaian boy couldn't come to the
Turn away.
cookout. So I can't come to the cookout. You know what I mean? Like, so it means this
But-
brother
but-
can't come to the cookout.
But they'll let like guys that don't even believe in this word be among them.
Yeah.
It don't make no fucking sense, really.
Which camp had what's his face? Sonnet.
You got guys, you got someone that wants to
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
and you're gonna turn them away, and you're gonna bring someone there who don't fucking believe into around your congregation. You don't make no sense.
And do you remember a couple? I don't know what camp it was. What camp was it that a couple years ago there was like a white girl that came up, but her father's Judah, and like they'll say, nah, you're you might. Just, nah, have you seen my dad? Show their dad. Like, oh shit.
It's like spiritual, man.
Things like that happen, bro.
Man, you don't know, because at the end of the day, a lot
And
of
it's
times
spiritual
pass.
anyway.
A lot of times pass. We've been scattered for a long time, man.
Yeah.
You can't discredit the scriptures. It says what it says.
Yep.
We're not here to determine how black you are.
Yeah.
You know, what shade of black are you?
And part of the scattering was that we would take on the customs and the ways of these people
And
looks because he's been certain times that you see it. And Apostle
Revelation 7 and 9.
Apostle Tahar has even spoken on you know, you may meet a guy and he's you're like, look man, this guy's a bit of a heathen. But then you see his son that's because he grew up like a heathen. He was worshipping the gods of the heathens, doing the things that were associated with that culture.
Yeah.
But when exactly. Whereas his child grew up around Jake as an example. And then you're looking at it, was like, wait, that's just
Jacob out.
you know, but then after a while, after you in your own mind have asserted that okay, that's the son. The son's definitely Jake. I can see that means that he's a Jake.
Yeah.
You start observing things in the guy that you thought was a heathen. No, this guy's actually straight up Jake.
Because check it like this, because a lot of these things is cultivated, right? Depending on your upbringing, your surroundings, and stuff like that. If that spirit is truly in that person, even though the father might seem a little bit heathen, or a lot like a heathen, right? If there is truly that spirit of Israel in him, and he's around other Jake, that Jake is gonna come out of him, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna raise itself to the top.
Yeah.
And you can't act that. You can't pretend that. Can't fake that, right? Because of the Edomite now, and actually Edomite was like, oh, Jake are cool. I want to try and be like Jake. And when they try and be around Jake all the time, but they're just not right. Yeah, they're just not right. They're around you, they're corny. You know what I mean? They're just not right around you, innit? He's trying though. He's fucking trying his best. Yeah, you know, he still can't dance and act and all this kind of shit. That's why the greatest in this world, when you look at them, are really Jake. Yeah, whether they be actors, dancers, runners, whatever the case may be, they got that Jake spirit within them.
And then even now you got dudes. You would say it, you know. There's some people.
Esau's been replaced a long time ago in terms of the pinnacle because you know back in the day the boxing and the running, only white people that you know they were shit. Let's be honest, it was shit. And then they'll never get in the game. They'll never get in the game now. And so there's so much Jake with so much talent out there. How the hell does Esau get in? There's no way. He has to give up.
Well,
there's someone who's white though. Bring him in because he's not really.
Well, it's sort of like Bob Marley. Like there's some Benjamites in South London, like Edomite, because you know his father. They say is the white guy, so whatever, right? Well, you know, he's Irish. But even though when there was kids, I'm jamming. Those listening to
the whole
track.
Jamaica rocks to Bob Marley. How am I going to raise that kind of spirit? It ain't happening.
Single-handedly put Jamaica on globe because you get certain people, but I'm sure that there's some racist EDL party tonight that they're going to play some.
I'm jamming.
You get certain people that they determine they transcend race. Chris Rock has an example. Bro, Chris Rock can make Edomites laugh. He can make Moabites laugh. He can go to anywhere in the world and he's gonna get respect. Bob Marley's of that ilk. I mean he's dead now.
But guess what? Bob Marley's family is an example of how the scattering could work. Bob Marley's father, that's because Benjamin, no, that's not really his father, no. That's what they said his father is. He's a so-called white man, right? That's it. Now, do you remember that song that went viral a couple months ago? These roads of Lauryn Hill's son. Lauryn Hill got a son with one of Bob Marley's sons, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, or one of his grandsons or whatever. But his son looks very like dark skin, brown skin. That just shows you how the scattering can it
doesn't take many generations.
It doesn't take long. So as equally as his great grandfather is Bob Marley's father, so-called white man, is as equally as how he can look black now, so-called, and have seed with another black woman, and his son can look completely black.
That's it. And Bob Marley come with that spirit, man. He was against the system, man.
He was against the system.
You know, son of the right. He was talking, innit?
I have a precept. This is Ecclesiastes 13 and 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to his kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship have the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner to the God.
And the only difference is the spirit between them.
Spirit.
Like a lion is very different to a lamb.
Yeah.
Spiritually. Yeah. Like the tiger, the lion is a predator, bro. And that's its food.
Yeah.
A lamb is like it's humble as me. He don't have got no dealing with them type of stuff.
And even like you know, prove that especially workplaces. Even if you don't like the other nigga, as they say, Jake just and even if he's a Polish Jake, you
vibe.
It's in the eyes. You know, it's a look. It's a look the first day. and then before
the spirit,
it's the first day, like you saying, and then before you know it, by the microwave. After you, bro. And then before you know it, you become the best of friends by Tuesday. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, isn't it, bro?
Work buddies.
Yeah. You know, bro, you say you're right. Yeah. No, right. Yeah. You know that manager.
Bless.
And then, but then, like an actual fucking Edomite comes in the room.
It's different.
It's just different.
It's just different.
Yeah. Talk to you later, bro. Because it's the same people, man.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, Jake. You know, like you can't fake Jake, man.
You know the one I've seen. It was where it was like a group of white Jake, but I think like there was like a fifth one that was like a straight up Edomite. And I always remember it was like the Edomite one. He did something weird, didn't it? And it was like, I always remember one of his boys kind of like looking at him, like, what's man doing? You know, and it was just that spirit in him was that odd one out. He was just odd, and they probably all felt he was odd, but they had him around, right? You know.
Yeah.
Got a precept.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like-
choose that off.
Oh, the one.
Oh, you drop it.
Yeah. I have one like now. Just a quick one. This is Second Ezra 2:34, and it says, "And therefore I say unto you, O you heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd; he shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, and shall come in the end of the world."
What did Yahweh Shai though? Yahweh Shai say, innit? He said, "My sheep hear my voice." It's all about what they hear, right? It's not about what they're looking at, where they're looking like. He didn't identify them by what they look like,
Yeah.
because he understood that.
Yeah.
Well, my people are everywhere, bro,
Yeah.
and they're doing all kinds of shit right now.
Yeah.
Looking all kinds of different ways. But if they hear my word, they must be mine.
Yeah, and guess what? This verse, it touches on different points. It says, "Oh, ye heathen that hear and understand." Now, this is why the apostles and brothers would say the milk scriptures. The milk scriptures are the foundation. So if you have the right foundation,
No,
you would know that the heathen that hear and understand in this verse are Israelites, because one, the word is only for Israel. The
I am
word,
sent unto the lost
lost
sheep of the house of Israel.
So that's how you can read that and not get
And
confused.
what does that equate to? A lost sheep is a heathen,
Is it? Yeah.
essentially, because
Yeah.
they're not in the
Yeah.
ways of Israel.
Yeah. They were
Yeah.
part of like a different flock.
Yeah.
And then the shepherd goes looking for them, and the shepherd calls his name, and then the sheep hears the voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
well, I
you
recognize
know,
that.
you know,
I recognize that.
if you look up my coat hasn't been shaved in a year, so I'm looking a bit rough right now.
I've just been chilling over here.
Yeah.
Chilling over here, man.
Grab something on what you just said.
Yeah.
This is 1 Corinthians 12:2. Says, "Ye know that ye were Gentiles."
Right?
Yeah.
Heathens, foreigners, or however you want to put it, it's the same thing ultimately. When it concerns our people that have left the fold, the main fold in Judea at the time, you know, they were heathens essentially. Yeah.
Yep. It says, "Carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led."
Right? These dumb idols, you know, whether it be, you know, the gods of the Romans or the gods of the Greeks, you know, they change up their names, where they're still worshiping old gods from back in, you know, Syria or whatever, man. You know, it was Jake doing all this still. You know, not every Jake was living the life that Israel is supposed to live. And there's generations that went by like this, man. You know, we can all read the whole account of Maccabees with the whole Antiochus Epiphanes thing and what they were making us do, or what some of us willingly just left up and did. You know, and that changed the shape of Israel, well, to this day, ultimately. You know, and so they required a deliverer that could bring them from all these different places, even if they didn't know or understand that they were Israelites. You know, because there was elect, you know, scattered around, and this is how it was going to be done through the word. Yeah.
Gentile state of mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got quick.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I have a bit more on this one. It says, "Look for your shepherd; he shall give you everlasting rest." Now, where else does rest come in the scriptures? And Jacob shall return and be quiet and be in rest. And now, so that's the kingdom.
Yeah.
So we know the kingdom's for Israel. So to these heathen that hear and understand, the kingdom is for them. So they have to be Israelites that are scattered amongst the heathens. Right? For he is nigh at hand and shall come at the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom. So what? The Lord's gonna reward the heathen with the kingdom.
Doesn't make sense.
But what is the kingdom? The kingdom in Daniel 7 is what? The
Saints.
kingdom and dominion shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. You know, and all dominion shall serve and obey him.
Sure.
So the nations are going to be in slavery in the kingdom. So how can this be talking about actually heathen?
It was in Psalms. It addresses us to be the saints of Israel. You know,
Psalm 55,
so we're those saints. The Lord is, because it's always been that. That's the promise has always been concerning us, right? It was never concerning all the heathen. When was that made?
That's it.
When was that promise made? It was never made. You know, all of a sudden Yahweh Shai comes along, apparently the whole world is with him now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And guess what? If all nations can be saved through Jesus Christ, oh man, that's not horrible. But if all nations can be saved through Jesus Christ, bro, then what's the point of the Lord coming? Because that means that everyone's saved. So if everyone's saved, then who's really saved? It's just the script Luke 1:68 says we're going to be saved from our enemies. If you're going to save us and all
So who's
of
going to be the enemy?
then who's the enemy?
Why is the Lord coming to destroy nations?
Yeah, what's the point?
Why don't you just go around and destroy people, right? Well, why is he destroying anybody? He loves everybody. I don't know.
Or Revelation 2. So which nations are we going to be given power?
Exactly.
You know?
Because if the Lord has the power to, convince everybody, right? Because if he wanted to, he could. But that's the whole point. He don't. He don't want to, because they're not meant to be saved, right? But if both sides got all his power, and his son's got all his power, why just wait until everybody converts them, innit? And so he can save everybody, because he loves everybody, right? He would just wait for them, right? He would wait forever for them. That's not what's going to happen. You know it's not. You know?
So Isaiah 11:11. NLT, it says, in that day the Lord will reach out his hand the second time to bring back the remnant of his people.
Because he's done it a first time already, right? And now he's going to do it again with Yahweh Shai to bring back his people, right? Because that's who was taken from Egypt, right?
To bring back the remnant of his people, those who remain in Assyria and northern Egypt and southern Egypt, Ethiopia and Elam and Babylonia, Hamath, and all the distant coastline.
So when this word's going out, these apostles are going out to different lands, talking in the streets, in the highways, the byways, going to the synagogues and stuff, right? Yeah, the whole world can hear them. Everybody can hear us if they want to hear us, right? But only the elect are going to receive it, right? And so who the apostles sent out for? The elect of Israel. Because Israel is among all these nations. And that can't be helped. So everybody's going to have to hear. So it's not the case that we're trying to save the whole world because we're going to send you to this place and that place. Fuck that place, man. No one gives a shit about that place, man. The Lord is there for his elect. Right? Just like fuck Sodom and Gomorrah. He was there for Lot. He went there for Lot. What Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, man.
Yeah, and that people try and use that scripture. Abraham prayed for the wicked. Sodomite. He said that. No, he was praying for his death because he was there. Like, he was a citizen of Sodom. Yeah. And he was scared for his cousins. Yeah, he's like, you know what I'm saying? He was praying. He was praying for the city for the sake of his.
Because Abraham don't know no one there.
Yeah, you know.
But he knew his century. So it's like,
He was like, no, man.
I really hope, Lord,
Verse 12 says, he will raise a flag among the nations and assemble the exiles of Israel. He will gather the scattered people.
There's the confirmation, the exiles of Israel. Right. That's why they all need to replace it. They are the exiles of Israel, the lost sheep. Okay? Or they think they're Assyrian, or they think they're from Elam, or whatever the case may be.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because
that's
Angola.
because by extension, this is what's happened to all of us today. We've grown up believing for somebody else that we're not. Right? So we will become these Gentiles. That's why the message is so important. That's why it's heavily pushed. Not because the Lord loves everybody, but because his people will all become these Gentiles, man.
And it says, he will gather the scattered people of Judah from the ends of the earth.
The Jews everywhere, not just in Judea.
Yeah.
You know?
Then at last, the jealousy between Israel and Judah will end. There will no more be rivals anymore.
Beef between the tribes.
Yeah.
And Esau wants to perpetuate that, man.
Yeah.
Because I always think about that.
Migrant thing.
They are on
Well,
different.
oh yeah, Margaret, that's one. But it was just the whole thing where there'll be like what is it with Bruno Mars, right? Which he's just looked at as a so-called Hispanic, right? So-called Latin. Right, he's looked at, but then they'll be having all of these talking points of, oh, he's not really black. Why is he acting? No, he's bro. The two tribes are
It's
together.
not about acting black. He's been an Israelite, in a worldly state, in a worldly way.
Yeah.
It's our spirit.
Which-
Yes, the tribes individual got different types of spirits, so
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can't, naturally go to our own tribes more or whatever the case may be. But when you see a guy performing, he's releasing his spirit, and his spirit is of an Israelite, man. He's not acting anything. He's just being himself.
Well, it's,
You know what I mean?
it's sort of like how the debate between who started hip hop and how the Puerto Ricans weren't involved. It's like, bro, it's all Jay.
It's the same. It's the same.
We don't care. Like, they're both Jakes.
Big
whatever.
fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, come on, man, they're just the same.
You know, in the middle. You know how you got like even like foods where like one nation will have done it one way,
Yeah.
and it's oh no, who
This
started?
is
Like, look, man,
Yeah,
hey, look, I like both versions.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but that dish originated from this island, or whatever the case may be.
That's why like there's dudes like Tariq Nasheed. He's a demon. He's an Asian, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
he's because he's the one that coined that term for foundationally Black American.
Yeah.
So it's like you got Judas like in his own exclusive club, aside from the
Oh, no.
Haitians and Benjamin, like,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
know,
he's trying to keep the divide.
yeah, basically.
yeah.
So basically, like they just got. I'm like, just shut up, man.
What's that?
For foundational Black American.
Bro, he's telling you can't get no foreign ass, man. Fuck that guy.
Oh, you're
man.
talking about Dr. Umar Johnson?
Oh, I'm talking to Dr. Uma Salah. Yeah, I thought it was the same.
What are they saying?
It's the same.
You know off camera, this guy's getting
Bro, you getting
freaked down from white bitch.
The fact that you call yourself doctor, man, I ain't hearing it, bro. Like,
The false man.
right, I ain't you throwing around these towels like you're somebody, bro. You ain't nobody to us. You know what I mean? Don't be shit. You know you're lying.
Yeah,
You know what I
Dr.
mean?
Uma, what would you say? You can't get the snow bunnies. You can't get no rice bunnies. Look, man, I might eat some rice. I want to eat some rice.
Bro. But in the kingdom, right, all things are going to be on the table.
Exactly.
the dining table is going to be large, right? So, you know, as long as it's lawful, we're gonna have a portion of that. At the end of the day, these women are just women. At the end of the day, they are, yeah, servants. So where they come from, it doesn't really matter. If you're talking about children going forward, they're still Israelites. Because the man carries the seed, they're still Israelites. So the woman doesn't really play a factor in that. You know. Now the issue in the past is that these women we got from other nations had other gods,
Yeah.
right? And to make things, you know, cohesive, I'm gonna use that word cohesive, right? Lack of words, right? But to kind of, you know, join themselves unto them, they would adopt certain things that they shouldn't be adopting. And one of the big things that we shouldn't be worshiping other gods, right? That was the first commandment, right? But that's what will start to happen. We try to, you know, join our houses together with these other nations and whatever. We will get sucked into doing things we're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing that happened with Solomon. The fact that he had so many wives wasn't the problem. It's the fact they led his heart astray. You know? So as long as that doesn't take place, then it's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I was saying, like, where you've been around.
Because
Like,
otherwise, why does women like Ruth come into the story and stuff like that? Like that
Exactly.
doesn't make any sense. Because otherwise, these people should be getting rebuked.
exactly.
But they don't. They're part of the history of our Lord and all these types of things, and looked at respect as respectable women and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
First of all, I mean, in the kingdom, we're going to be perfected. I mean, the law of such a commandment is going to be in order. So we're not going to
So
be.
we're not gonna be taken away by women like by our lusts and just going out of control. No, we're gonna be firm in what we know, and like women ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, like even
And they ain't gonna be no idols left anyway.
like even like, you know, Samson's story. People who like, especially women, but even the other Israelite camp, they always use that story to see. This is why, bro. If you read the story,
Or any woman could do this.
Yeah.
It's like,
if you read the story,
Eve was Eve, bro, and
it's
still.
in terms of Samson, if you read the story, the Lord said, "For he had an occasion against the Philistines."
Exactly.
So the Lord made
Raised up for
Samson
purpose.
do what he did and fall in love because the Lord's
And be simple
bigger
at
goal,
times.
the bigger goal was to destroy the
Philistines,
Philistines. It wasn't.
And Samson
like-
was the tool.
Yeah, because you know
That's it.
people read the story at the base level. You see, this is why you can't go deal with a heathen woman.
They betray you.
They betray you, brother.
Yeah.
Like Eve didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
Bro,
point is,
1,000 times over.
bro, let's be real. We've all seen certain of them. You know, they'll be looking.
I love Kush, brother. I thought he was gonna ask his brother's like.
No.
I had to answer the question.
No,
I got two hands up.
No, I was gonna say is that you get certain. We've all seen that Eve. She's looking good. You know, she got the braid, and she got the head wrap, but you know she's a demon. Alazar's ex. Oh, you know that was a demon, right? She confessed. You know, so that's as the elders going into it, don't ultimately matter where she's from, right? In terms of because Evil, what does it say of King Solomon, right? It says he loved many strange women and basically they had 300 wives, 300 concubines, 700 wives, and his wives turned his heart away, right? Now, it can be, depending on how you ingest that, it said what? It said his wives turned away his heart, right? Or it could be all of them,
Yeah.
right? But he had,
It was all of
it
them
was all of them,
because
right?
it mentions the temples of the gods.
Exactly.
Because what we
I
are
understand what you mean.
what we are told that in Israel is not to be in love with the other nation,
That's it.
right? Give
Marry
their heart
them.
to them, yeah,
Marry them.
right. So he might have done that still and had these women as his wives and fell in love with them, and then succumbed to their will.
Because marriage, like he made certain leagues with them.
And it happened in his old age.
Yeah, it happened in his old age, and then it's like, like when you read the scriptures, like don't take their sons to your daughters. It's like because it's supposed to be
Separate.
one way.
Yeah.
We take their women as our concubines.
Yeah.
But marriages was more up close and personal. Like
Because they ain't got no inheritance
Yeah.
rights to our lands or
Yeah.
nothing like that. There's
No.
nothing we have in common like that to share with them.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a one-way transition thing. Like you stay over there, worship your
Yeah.
thing, and that, but your daughter's mine. Like
yeah.
she got live in our customs and
Well,
whatever.
that's why, like, even the law on when you go and conquer them, it says you go and conquer them, you shave their nails, you shave their hair, they mourn for their
Yeah.
pet.
Doesn't it also talk about taking off their clothes?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
Garment, change the
Yeah,
garment, something
you
like
change their garments. You shave their hair.
Mm-hmm.
You shave their nails
that. It's
because
like you're getting a whole new identity. now.
Yeah.
but because as well, like in the ancient world, some styles of like hair and
Is
Mhm.
over
wearing patterns of
heathen-
the nails
yeah.
was heathenistic
Yeah.
To them.
customs to God. It's like how people have the locks, the
Yeah.
Shiva
Yeah.
Shiva jatters and all that. Like
Yeah.
it's like let's take off that custom and now make you, because basically, what's the final form of earth? The final form of earth is what? It's us ruling and all the nations learning our ways.
Yeah.
Because
if I was going to say as well, I think sometimes we may, especially because we live in metropolises, right? We may not really appreciate sometimes. I'm not saying anyone here, but like people may not really appreciate sometimes what it means to deal with a heathen woman. The reason why I say because we live in metropolises is if you're meeting a Muslim here, right? Well, you could pop a Muslim there. So they're not really that deep as compared to if you met in a Muslim in Arabia, right? They're gonna be like, look, one, I can't even deal with you, right? As one, but even if he was able to get in there, they're gonna be like, look, babe, we need to go Mecca. So I need to go Mecca at some point, right? Or some women that say that are Hindu, right? You get yourself a nice thick tie thing, right? She's gonna be bringing in them Buddha statues into your yard because for her that is what she has grown up in. That is her, the world that she's from.
Yeah, tell them no.
Exactly.
Tell them no, that shit ain't gonna be in my house.
That's it.
You know.
It's gonna keep falling over like Dagon.
But when you're trying to appease women, because what men try to do,
Yeah.
right? You allow certain things to slide and to build up in your household, and now it's like, yeah, well, we're gonna go here. It's like, okay, baby, you're from with you, type shit, or we're gonna go worship here and pray to my God, to my Father,
Oh yeah.
whatever whatever it is. And this is what happened. This is what I'm gonna read this. Proverbs 21 verse 3. To give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways that which destroyeth kings. Right? It's all about giving your strength and your will over to them. You don't let them control. You don't let them, steer the boat. Right? And this is what happened to Solomon in his old age. And this is what the transgression was. Because there's many great men that had many wives, and this wasn't an issue. But it became an issue, or it becomes an issue when you start giving your strength over to the woman.
And ultimately, all these women are heathens anyway. Ultimately, if you want to look at it that
Yeah, because what women are in is like state of mind.
and
Even these ones that claim they are, they're not.
and really, if you look at like another King Solomon's story was also like the story of Jake. Jake kind of had everything and got into the way of the heathen and started to worship. You know what I'm saying?
and the latter end was punishment.
Yeah, because after that,
Destroy that nation.
you know what I'm saying?
For our nation, and then also it's like you know what? It did a video, and at first the chat was. I was thinking, oh man, chat GP going off, but then it even brought down. I was like, yeah, man, yeah, that's exactly the same as Yahweh Shai, basically.
Is
So
it?
it was even went in to be like, yeah, man, it's the same as Yahweh Shai. It was like, I was like, where?
Even Jack GPT knows Solomon and Yahweh Shai are the same ones.
No, if you
You make connections,
sometimes,
isn't it?
you ask chat to draw connections. You'll be like, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah,
And then that's to break it down.
yeah, a lot of similarities.
Bro, Chatman and me are cool, bro.
You're a demon.
yeah. Bro, you know,
But it is a demon. It's
Yeah,
wide.
yeah,
You know
even-
shit. You know?
sometimes-
Yeah,
And they can trip you up if you ain't privy to it.
Yeah, privy. Yes, that's why. That's why I have to curse. That's why sometimes I be cursing it out.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I remember one time I was doing one of man of Esau, and like basically certain people who like Jake's who had the same Hebrew names of Edomites, innit? And then they tried to use one. I said, no, that person's a Jake. He's like, oh yeah, sorry. Like, that's why it's important when you use it to double verify it.
Yeah.
Because don't, just because it's on chat, it doesn't mean it's 100%
True.
true.
Well, but that's why I say as well. It's
Ministry of
like,
truth.
yeah,
So
it's
sources
very
and-
much the ministry of truth, man. Because you get people that believe it to a T, right? They believe they're like, yeah, man, that's exactly what that is the truth. That's why one of the things as well that's good to do for using that demon is just to ask it every now and then, are you sure?
Yeah.
Because there'll be certain times when you know 90% of the answer, you just need that extra 10%, and it'll completely lie to you. And you ask it, are you sure? It's, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. So this is a good little habit to get into.
Because at the end of the day, it's still a tool of Esau,
Yeah.
right?
It's something.
It can lie by omission, by not bringing up certain facts, right? So it leads you in a particular way, right? But you double check on it. Oh, it'll bring out that thing you mentioned.
Yeah.
So why didn't you mention it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even I remember one time I was looking for a quote in the 13th tribe, you know, the name scheme. And then ChatGTV was given, it's a conspiracy book and blah blah blah, and it was trying to like put a negative bit. I said, listen,
Bro, I'm not asking.
I
bro.
said,
I don't want your opinion.
exactly.
I actually have to say to listen, don't give your like. It seems like you're trying to lead me down the narrative here.
Mhm.
Just give me the facts. And he's like, all right,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, I shouldn't have done that.
It's the book of Proverbs 14 and 15.
Yep.
The simple believeth
Mhm,
every word,
Mhm.
but the prudent man looketh where to his going.
And that's when you know these scriptures, it makes you more prudent, right?
Yeah.
And so when ChatGPT, because you would make the assumption that it knows everything, because you treat it like a god now. They just tap into all the information, but all the information is not equal,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. And it's all based on sources. It's not
Exactly.
the AI can't give you
It's
something
not
that doesn't
sense.
exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not sense.
Well,
You can't know something because it can't do research. It can't actually go out nowhere and go look.
yeah.
It can only feed off what's there to be had, to be eaten.
It's funny, man. One time, I mean, I made a mistake. I was going back and forth, you know, with a Christian, and then the obviously we, you know, brothers know the scriptures in it. So you're going back and forth making a point. And I realized we're in a conversation. Yo, this person is copy and pasting from ChatGPT to try and cut me. And then like obviously like it didn't work. But then it's like the point I'm making is people have got to the stage where they believe that that's gospel.
Yeah, it's the
If it's on chat, yep.
Because, like, for instance, right, new research at the moment from how the world, the universe is created, is that now we're in a black hole. It's not the Big Bang Theory, you know. We're all changing the perspective of that, right? So if AI came out before that, before all this new information came out, it will tell you that it was Big Bang, because that's the sources it has. You can't tell. Oh no, but they don't know yet. But I know it's really because we're in a black hole. It can't tell you that. It has to wait for that information to come out to tell you now. Oh, it's widely accepted that the universe is not. It wasn't created from a Big Bang now, but we're actually living inside a black hole. It can't tell you that until they come out with information on it. It's not a sentient being like that. It can't go in the past and relive something to tell you what the facts are. It can't. It can only tell you the perspective of somebody else who's done research on the situation, which is the same as asking that person. If that person doesn't got all the facts, it's just a human, and he don't have all the facts. So that's why you have to go through the spirit, man, and through things that we know to be true. We rely on the scriptures first and foremost, man. That's the foundation and the anchor. You know, that's the foundation of all truth, man. So we'll filter everything through the scriptures. So we'll call out ChatGPT, we'll call out the scholars. Whoever it needs to be called out because the man are chatting shit, they get called out on it. You know, because even ChatGPT has to back itself up.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know. Yes, like
No, not right now.
you know, like that. right? But yeah, just going back on that woman thing, you know, um,
So,
it's the love of women, just like the love of money. Money's not evil,
yeah.
but the love of money will lead you into problems.
Yeah.
You know, when you love these women too hard, and especially if they especially if they, because Eve is the same. You Jake women, you love them too hard, and you let them control the narrative, let them control how things go. It leads you down to problems. And that story's been told away from Adam and Eve.
Oh, what was that? With the palme?
You know, and this is why we serve the Lord first. That's why it's the first commandment. We serve the Most High before anything else, right? And that's what we have to focus on.
Because especially in these times, every single woman, the demon that's on her is to try to get you out of this thing.
Yeah.
That's just, because these spirits, they understand them, man. Right? They understand, which I'm just pulling up the precepts.
And like right now, saying what's heavily with the so-called black women, man.
Yeah.
You know, with Israelite women and shit, man. So sometimes it might be a bit more peaceful with a heathen woman, because they're not trying to actively get you out the game.
Yeah.
You know, because they ain't on, they ain't got certain standards that they have to be
Sure.
met and shit. Because you've got all the expectations, but none of the, but she ain't doing shit herself.
Yeah.
You know.
This is trying to see, because I don't want to read all of it. But first Ezra 4. Damn, where should I start? I'll start from 22. Says by first Ezra 4:22. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. Do you not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
And that's just a fact. When you get into a relationship and that, what you're working towards is to make her life nice.
Basically.
Because a lot of the time we forgo stuff that we want even ourselves, and just like we want to make sure that she's comfortable, that children are comfortable, and we work bare hours and shit like that. And the same way we got to be for the Lord. Right? We put in this work for the Lord, right? It's not really about ourselves, but we try to create this environment that's nice for them, Yep.
That's it. It says, yea, a man taketh the sword and goeth his way to rob and steal and to
Wars
save.
have been waged over plenty times.
Many a man have died over women.
Yeah, and
To this day.
they say it might be between kings, but whole mention soldiers got to die for that,
Yeah.
and they don't even know. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But they go and die anyway. It's crazy. Yep.
Yep. His way to rob and to steal and to sail upon the sea and upon rivers and look at.
That's why Jake wanted all the floss, man,
Mhm.
to stunt, or to get all the girls.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
what
yeah.
I've got. So he'll do crime. He'll do all kinds of things to show off and to attract women and shit.
Yeah.
But that's what it all always for.
I've always like I mean us brothers come from certain environments, been around certain people. I mean, I remember when I used to be around certain niggas in the hood. They're like, now when I reflected back, I said, man, a lot of these dudes was in the gangs just impressing women.
Yeah.
To be associated with someone that's
To like appear
hard or
powerful
whatever. Yeah.
to get girls.
And it's the same with these other camps now. Because the IUIC is just like that. They like the image because it attracts a certain energy of certain people.
Yeah.
Because they can't be bummy. Because if they're bummy, you don't get the girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we got girl.
Yeah.
We always, if you look bummy, you don't get girl. That's the thing of the world, right?
Well, that's it. It's so carnal, because what does the scripture say, right? In Matthew, right? Is it 19, right? That whatsoever the Most High put together, that no man can. Some point being, you're with a woman. At certain times, we've all been. You just be like, bro, I don't know how the hell this happened. Whether it's for whatever reason, you're like, how the hell did I end up with this woman? Right? But it's because the Most High is the one that put you together. That's why certain times it don't run. Because the Most High was like, you can have her for a season, but that ain't for you right now.
But it's like I tell my nieces and stuff like that, man. Like, if you like sort of make yourself look a certain way, right? You're gonna
Attract a certain kind of person.
Yeah, right. The type of bait is, the type of fish you get, right? And so if you're gonna behave like this, then you're gonna attract someone that's not savory to you, right? You're not gonna be helpful to you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with men. You wanna throw out all this stuff, then the only people you're gonna get is people that really are looking for what you got,
Exactly.
as opposed to what you are.
Exactly.
Because all that pantomime shit don't mean shit, because you ain't really nobody, right? But you got certain, money or clout or whatever. You're a captain in this, and you kind of flex on it. And then those women that are naturally attracted to power. What's that term?
Exactly.
Hypergamous. Yes, right. They're attracted to those things, and obviously they're gonna come in it, and that's what you want. You want the attention. All you niggas want attention.
But you ain't worked on it, because I always remember you get certain people that will they'll get the money, and whatever, what have you, but they haven't worked on themselves. They haven't worked on the reason why, which ultimately is spiritual anyway, but they haven't worked on the reason why they weren't getting gal in the first place. So then now, what do you call it? And that's why my man, he who must not be named, was fulfilling all of his fantasies with them, because he, would have always been like, yo, I'd love to do this. So he
Oh,
made
like
himself
3,
get the
4
money.
women, man. Like
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
running
yeah.
games
He
on
actually
women
did,
like
yeah.
that.
He wasn't, and the thing is though, let's be real, he probably would have never got that many gals were he not the chief priest.
Yeah.
Which is why he had to become the chief priest, which is why he had to, do anything he could to get as much money as possible. Man.
This guy disrespects us like it's like that's a normal thing to do.
Well,
You know what I mean? 300K this year. Like, give a fuck. Like,
Bro,
why would a man in the Lord give a fuck about that?
There are certain women, they don't, just spirit that's on them. They don't even care how much money you have or don't have. But because of the spirit of the Lord, she's just happy to be with that.
from yeah, I mean, even if all you got is a mattress.
Hey, man,
Yeah,
if you join,
work.
It's because they said there's a joke. That's actually a meme. Also, you get guys that are doing the most, but she's getting fucked with. She's getting dealt with a guy that only has a mattress.
back of a car or something.
Exactly.
Bunk bed.
Here it is. You're taking her to the Shard, or what was it? Red Lobster? Is that the expensive? I don't know spots to the very, but basically taking her to some expensive ass spots,
Yeah.
right? Manhattan. You going down to Manhattan, right, for a date, but then she dealt with a guy
He's fighting with a bunk bed.
with a bunk bed. He ain't washed his socks in but it's real though.
It was
real.
shit like that. Man, I see it all in the hood, man. You see it, man.
Yeah.
He fight with a bunk bed, still get bitches like that.
Man, that's it, but if you join the IUIC, man, you get hooked up, man. You know? They got wives waiting for you, apparently.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it is.
The IUIC, they got wives waiting for you. innit?
Oh, watch getting man.
So, But yeah, I don't know what we were saying before, innit? But
I was reading
Just
this.
reading, yeah.
It's just
He's talking about giving your strength to women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verse Ezra 4:24, and looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness.
Yeah, you actually see niggas, man. They ain't doing about nothing. They're just doing some some extra shit. But niggas, man, they'll do anything to oppress the bitch, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It says, and goeth in the darkness, and when he had stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
Yeah, like, and guess what? There's like certain women, which is, but sometimes the Lord can bring her back, maybe to make you slip, and it's a lesson. But if you find yourself that all your track is ratchet hoodie, then there's an issue, man. Like that want you to be in a car chase with the police.
Oh
I want you to go and rob the store.
Yeah. You,
Like, stay away from
yeah. That's actually because I always remember there was a time
it. Says a lot about it.
near where I lived, there was like a hidden kind of road, if you will, and it was like so. But the problem is, if you're a child, right, you're looking at it as a pavement, right? So you walk down it as a pavement, but there's a hidden road that comes out of it, right? And basically, one day I'm just walking down normal speed, and this guy kind of just zooms out, right? And then he stops because there was traffic on the main road. So I'm whacking the walls. What the fuck you doing, basically, right? And then his woman's just in the car. I was like, bro, you actually don't want a woman that's gonna lie to get away with that.
Yeah.
That's a demon.
Yeah.
That's a demon. That's what's gonna happen when you're attracting certain kind of women. They're gonna be happy when you're getting in certain kind of situations. And you know what? Because of feedback.
Yeah.
I don't know what the psychological term is.
When love drama, innit?
Yeah. But it's like when that psychological term, when you're seeing that she's enjoying it, she's enjoying it when you're, doing crazy
mischievous.
The scripture says it.
Yeah,
A wicked woman is given to wicked men.
exactly.
Mate, there's dudes that are known sex offenders, pedophiles that have women.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Bro, there's guys in the fucking street. Broadcast, actual bums, you know what I'm saying? They got
Hitler had a woman, man. But it's real though, man.
someone had to love it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even people look at him like he's the worst guy in the world.
Yeah, the chick.
He had box.
Yeah. Hey, you
Imagine that, great husband. I don't know if he was, I'm just saying.
that was Bill Burr goes into that in his comedy special about like Coco Chanel. right? How basically she was like, look, man, I'm gonna just have to, beat my way out of this particular situation. So women will be like, I got my Chanel bag. Yeah, she was a hoe though. Let me finish this. It says, oh yeah, jump in, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 19:2. Wine and the woman will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that grieveth to harlots will become imputed.
So again, it's not that these things are inherent evil. It's not that Hebrew women are evil in the sense that you can't deal with them because the Lord forbid it because they're wicked and evil. Yeah, they're heathen, they don't know shit, but like it's your management of those things.
Exactly. It's a good point because he even mentioned that like harlots and stuff like that. And there's another precept in Sirach which says basically you end up losing all your money, and that is the thing. It's like you get certain mans that have gone broke, they ruined their entire life. Their wife found out that they were into getting the proceeds and that, but then like she was like, all right, okay, could you please stop whatever. You carried on. Now she's taking half, right? Here it is, at first you forgave, now she's taking half, right? You're out on the streets, you can't stop spending, right, on harlots. But that doesn't make harlots inherently wicked, right? That's something that's
You have an addiction.
you have an addiction.
You have an
Which is
addiction. You
different.
can't control.
Why?
You can't use wisdom in those times. Because everything is about using things in its balance. Using the world but not abusing it. There's a way to do something that's not wicked. But overuse of something is wicked, even though it itself isn't wicked.
You got use and abuse.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you have to know that it's different for each individual, but you have to know where that is. Otherwise, you're going to end up in corruption, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Is that?
Yeah. Carrying on. It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife. First says was 4:25 now. It says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sake. Many have also perished, have erred, sinned for women.
Yeah, bro. There's dudes in jail, right? Like, remember that clip of that Jake?
Yeah.
Where
Legend.
No, the one
I died.
Oh yeah, him, yeah. Fuck you and your child.
Man said we could really do. Man said he was gonna die for pussy.
Yeah.
But remember that video the other day of the dude at the petrol station? He was trying to, I don't know if you saw the guy, the lady man in the car, or whatever, because she came out of the driver's seat,
Right.
and he tried to ask for a number or whatever, and she turned him down.
Man.
Quiet, yeah. And then her dude came out, crashed out, put
I
him to
remember
death,
that one. Yeah.
and now he's in jail for life, and she's out free. having sex with someone else.
Yeah. I mean, but that one, that just sounds like, from what I remember, that guy, he just crashed out.
He crashed
that was on him.
But guess what? If she was a righteous kind of woman, thinking about a bigger picture, she would have gone in front of him like, listen,
It's not worth it.
I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
But guess what? She thought like it was sexy.
Yeah, that's it.
And now he's Jake dead, and he's in prison for life. And now she's down the road with
you know she's used that. She said that to her girlfriend. Yeah, man. Hey, he shot that nigga for me. You know it's been said.
Nah, he's getting shot at the backside.
Oh man.
by you know that dude, what's that nigga man that
That guy, yeah. Boondocks guy.
no
Boogie Band, the one.
polite. Him.
But even the fact that that's what happens in jail, and that's just a known
It's
thing,
Esau. It's Esau. Because of Esau, man. Because in our law, it's just judgment. It ain't like
sitting
Then-
on,
it might be a cell
Suspended life.
Right.
where a person is like held to get the judgment. You know what I mean? But it ain't like you're in prison, you get sentenced.
Well, that's another thing we should be talking about as well. Because the Florida state of Florida, considering bringing guillotines back into the fray to execute guys on death row, right? And I made a video during the week, man. And this is all prophecy. This is why these things are being spoken about now, because all these other methods that they're using, they're getting botched up, right? So a knock-on effect is that maybe we need to,
Exactly.
So we need to,
Great, right.
go back to some of these old ways because it's quicker,
Revelation.
and And so yeah, the guillotines are gonna make their entrance into the world, man.
Because because that's what they kind of broke down. But the thing with the guillotines is like all your vitals are still good. Like with the chemical
Harvesting.
deaths, yeah, with the chemical deaths, like everything, basically
Destroyed.
attacks everything, right? Shooting, you never know where you're gonna hit. Whereas that one, you know, okay, cool. Would you call it? Your heart's still
clean.
gonna be good,
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other. And that's why they keep having these accidents, right? Like for instance, I forget what state it was recently. I think it's like this week or the week gone. Basically they executed a guy that still had his pacemaker on, right? And then they were like, "Oh, we don't know if that caused them more pain." So it's like they're doing all of these things to basically make it seem like there is a problem that they need to solve.
And they call it barbaric, right? The guillotine. They call it barbaric, right? Because it's archaic. It's old. It's an old-fashioned way of
Yeah,
getting rid of somebody. But really, it's quick,
it's actually
clean.
very
efficient.
humane.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Because you remember Paul, like, you know,
I've seen some studies where they talk about, some people are still alive after their head cut off for like a certain amount of seconds or minutes or whatever the fuck, man. But like, look at the alternatives right now that's been on offer.
Yeah.
These men are suffering, heads
Tired.
sitting on fire and shit on the electric
yeah,
chair.
electrocuted.
You know what I
You
mean? That's
see
how
it.
can that be?
That-
So I don't know what
Yeah.
it makes sense for them to bring it back, and that's and the reasoning for it is being expressed now.
Mhm.
And people were like, no, we can't bring it back. But what's the options then?
Yeah. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right. So he got plans to enact and to accomplish, man. Right. And how he's going to deal with these dissenters, those that are against his new world order, that are going to resist against him, man. He's gonna find an efficient way to get rid of you. Right. And this is why we've covered it many years back, man, with the purchase of these high-tech guillotines and all these different things. That's just gone missing now. Like, that was a myth,
You remember back in the day?
conspiracy,
You see the videos, certain parts of the states where they're transporting mass graves,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
and there was literal sections they had prisons, and this was old videos back in 2010 and shit. You've seen them videos.
But what we got now, we're getting more detention centers now. You know what I mean? We're getting more this pressure on immigration and all that kind of stuff, detainment and stuff, right? And now we're talking about bringing the guillotine back. It's funny this is all happening at the same time, isn't it? So this is all prophecy playing out, right? We don't know necessarily when we speak it how it's gonna the steps to get there. All we know is gonna get there, and we're just seeing it, man. It's like we don't make the news.
Exactly.
We don't make the news. The news. For instance, that's what it says in the scriptures. This is why it's being spoken about. Because otherwise, the guillotine will sit in a museum somewhere. But it's not. It's here in the present with us. Why? Why is it here in the present? Why did they buy a bunch of them? Oh, I can't confirm that. But that's what fucking black markets are for, man. And things that are off the books. Why is even that such a term in the government, off the books or in the military? Because you ain't meant to know about it. So yeah, they purchase these things for what reason? But they know how they're gonna process. They're going to be process you. They're gonna process you. Because it's quick.
Yeah.
Once your head's gone, it's gone, and they can take your organs and they do whatever they want with the shit afterwards. Have you got that in Revelation actually?
Revelation 2.
Yeah, beheading. Yeah. Revelation 2 and 10. Yeah, being headed for the Lord. It's 2 and 10.
3 and 10.
Yeah.
But Revelation 2 speaks about casting to prison. Well.
Yeah.
Being faithful unto death.
So read both. Actually, read that one. I don't think that's one actually. Go, read that one first.
Talk about
Yeah. I'll get. You read that first. I'll get it.
The book of Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, that goes into our temptation. Well, no, keep going because you say, out faithful to death. Yeah, because that's talking about our temptation when we're faced with the mark of the beast. Which is
And the most important choice of your life you're gonna have to make.
Behold, I come quickly. All that fast which thou hast, that no man may take thy crown.
Right? This truth and this knowledge is the most important thing to us, the greatest treasure that we have in this world that we're living in right now. Because this is going to only determine your belief in it. It's going to determine what you're going to do in that time. You know?
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of Most High, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power.
Yeah, man. So you know, it's gonna be the first fruits. But the one you want is in 2 and 10.
One the Eddie.
No, that's in Revelation 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
20
But
and
the
4. Yeah.
casting the prison one is in 300.
No, the cost of prison one too.
Trying to see if it's there.
You just have
Also,
to try.
it's in one. It's in 2 eternal periods.
Read 2 and 10.
Okay.
The devil shall cast you into prison.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I've got 20 here.
20 is the beheading.
Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
Right? That's man like ice.
Yeah.
Right? Them men are going to be going around grabbing people, which they've been doing, right? And Trump's already going to extend his reach of power anyway. Right? So when all the shit hits the fan, he's going to give all these different fucking orders. That's all backed up by law, by the way. But they've got all these executive orders in the background and sit there waiting.
And it's like not only that, there are certain laws that he's written to be vague, which you
This is
know,
what they always do.
yeah, which you know that's because you look at your insurance contract, and these men have like written it such that it's so hard to get them to pay you
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
If like for instance, people that lost their houses in the fires or whatever, they will actually in
God.
this clause or like all of these sort of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to call it act of God.
Yeah,
We don't believe in God, but we're going to call it
Exactly.
act of God, so we don't have to pay out.
exactly.
But we couldn't foresaw that. All right.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got certain laws that are to do with your detainment and death that are written so vague. It's because he wants it to come upon all the world. That's what the scriptures
Legally, he's covered.
Yeah.
You know, they can complain about it, but that's why these executive orders go off, man. And you don't see them half the time. Everything's written, don't get enacted. They're just sitting in the background
Yep.
waiting to be employed. You know, and so Trump, he's just going to use all of that power that's been given, right? So when he goes around, because I said detention centers, he's making more of those alligator fucking Alcatraz. Sounds cool, but you know, but like he's doing all these things now for what reason? He's going to tell you, oh, because we've got an immigrant crisis, but it's really preparing for the last days, right? Because they're going to be used.
Yeah, because this Edomite is about to bring mass pain.
Yep.
And the immigrants are just in bruised.
And the prison facilities are already full.
Exactly.
You know, and so what happens when they fall? They need to get rid of them. How are we going to get rid of them? What's the quickest way? What's the easiest way? Guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll leave the bullets for the streets.
Yeah.
The guillotine is going to be in the detention centers where we're processing people. We're going to give them a choice. You're going to take this mark, or you're not going to take this mark. This is the last chance. You've had time to get it done, and you know this is your last chance now. You're with us right now, and you might have to make that choice. But yeah, that's you finished that, innit?
More.
If there's more, read it. It's not there.
Devil shall cast some of you in prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right, so he's going to test your patience and test your faith in that time, man.
Yeah, because they might get to that.
Yep, that's right.
So this is so I asked Ed because I remember seeing a clip on this. I asked the thing in history public guillotining because I feel like one of them said there'll be something about televised execution, something like
Someone did mention something like
Was
that.
it Trump?
that. I feel like it was, but I don't fully remember.
Yeah, someone did say it.
But then I was just kind of looking at what happens. This is this is AI overview. Public guillotining was a common form of execution, particularly in France during the late 18th and 19th century. It gained prominence during the French Revolution.
He saw power.
Yeah, notably during the Reign of Terror.
Yeah, that's what you are, man.
All
Devil's
right.
coming down great wrath.
Great wrath. So that's he's gonna come and bring that Reign of Terror because it was during the Revolution, right? So these are people that are revolting against something, and what
Second Ezra 15.
and what Esau's about to bring is gonna cause a great revolution. Okay. is where it was used to
Uprose
execute.
of the people.
Yeah, where it was used to execute thousands of people. The
Wow.
guillotine was initially intended to provide a swift and seemingly egalitarian form of execution, replacing more brutal methods previously reserved for the lower classes.
So yeah, guillotine is, you know, it's pretty solid, you know, it's pretty cool. But like, you know, it's better than other things that have
It's
existed
better than,
before.
yeah, it's better.
Oh, they're the chemicals, man.
Yeah,
So when you read about that, it sounds crazy.
even cyanide.
Even electric chair, which is before that kind of thing, that even sounds crazy. I was like, that don't sound bad.
You just had to get.
Yeah, like, that's fucked. If I had a choice back then, if I was there, I would have asked what I would have picked. I would have picked that kind of shit, man. And it's worse now. They're getting these counterfeit drugs, and they ain't working right anyway. But it's all planned to
Yeah,
get to the
exactly.
point where we get rid of those things and we'll bring this in instead.
Because wait there, the assisted suicide doesn't have any issue.
Yeah, and they just pump gas in there. You know,
Pump gas, you go sleep.
yeah.
You have a video playing The Simpsons.
And
You
just go to sleep.
Just die. Yeah.
Go to sleep and don't wake up.
But that just shows you there's levels. Even because that's why, if I pardon me, like in Rome, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't a thing like a Roman citizen couldn't be crucified.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was brutal. But a guillotine was seen as a better way to go. You know, swift, just off with him.
Yeah, it's quick.
Yep. So it says it was, however, it became a symbol of revolutionary violence and was eventually banned from public view in France after a particularly scandalous execution in 1939. So basically,
That's not long. That's not long ago.
that's less than 100 years ago.
Yeah, my grandfather, he died in 2003, but he was born in 1932 or 23 or something. You know what I mean, that's not that long ago. But, I mean, if he was alive, he could be over 100, but in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Oh well. So there's a bit more. So this is a public spectacle. So guillotine executions were often public spectacles drawing large crowds. These events were seen by some as a form of revolutionary justice, while others viewed them as barbaric displays of violence. It says the last public one was 1939, however, continued use in private. While public executions were banned, the guillotine continued to be used in private settings for executions until 1977.
Bro,
Yep.
that's down the road, bro.
When Hamida Jandoubi was the last person executed by guillotine in France
On paper.
on paper. Salah.
On paper.
Yeah, man. So it's sitting there, you know, it's ready and waiting, man. Come back.
And this was already shown in history. When it comes to wartime, treason, espionage, whatever, he abandons his own law.
And the thing is as well, it's like with the guillotine, it's like it's not costs increasing. Is that the one?
That makes
Because
sense.
like with death by firing squad.
Cost incurring.
Say again?
Incurring.
Incurring, yeah. Because it's like once you board it,
That's it.
it's it. You don't need to keep. Maybe you might need to
Sharpen the blade.
Yeah.
sharpen the blade every now and then.
Some WD-40.
Yeah, for real. Some
to
WD.
make sure.
But for the most, it's not like bullets. Bullets, like they're gonna cost a lot more, right? It's not like the chemicals. I know the chemicals they're quite. I think they well, chemicals cost money anyway. When you special needles involved, and stuff like that. Whereas that one you just keep. That's one of the things. That's one of the things I found interesting about that little snippet. It touched on the fact that it was efficient, it was fast and efficient. So man, bam, gone. All right.
Next one.
Because that's the thing. I remember the video that I remember watching. Like I said, it was black and white. Because I was like, right, this must have been like up to a relatively recent time. Because you basically saw how efficient it was. It was like it would chop, but in the manner of the chopping, like your body would bounce in a way, and then you would just like bounce straight into like the coffin that was side by side. No, it was like a basic, like the plastic things that we used to see in them videos, and you put your head in, move you along. So it was very efficient, like highly efficient way of execution. You can see them if they've got a big culling.
Well, what do they call Doge, isn't it? The government efficiency,
Yeah,
man. It's all about efficiency, baby. So yeah, it makes sense why they would opt for this. All right, and now this whole Florida thing is a talking point now. where other states can will look into it and adopt it or whatever. Not saying every state's gonna do it, but get enough of them, it's enough, innit?
Yeah, and then that might happen to certain brothers, but guess what? Overall, it's a time of salvation.
Yep.
It's overall it's a time of salvation. The Lord's gonna lift up a standard. But yeah, there are brothers who that's their great task, to endure that.
Yep.
But guess what? The Lord can have a miracle happen on there where it comes down and the blade bends and crashes into
Explodes.
pieces. And then you just get
It's
powered.
up.
You know what actually showed you that, which they were doing it on the left-hand side as well. So I've been rewatching Sabrina, and then one of the characters was actually supposed to get executed, but it was like they did a thing where as the blade went down, it basically chopped someone else's head off. It chopped the executioner's head off.
Wow.
Yeah, trade places.
Yeah, something like that. And it just once again, so if they can show you,
yeah,
Was it-
with the three holy children,
yeah.
cast the fire so hot it killed the guy who put them in the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Let me read this. There's Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. Right. So if this has to come to pass, how is it going to happen? There has to be a method to that. And I mentioned that you can get an axe guy, with old fucking hats on,
Yeah,
the reverse Ku Klux Klan hat, and come down with the axe. But it's slow and it's tiring. The guy's gonna get tired.
Yeah.
You
might
know,
miss.
He might miss. He botch it up.
Yeah,
Right?
butch it up and then now he's going.
Yeah, it's wrong. That's not efficient, man. Right? So there's a more effective way to do it, and that's why
into it.
It better take terrors, right?
but this way is more efficient. That's why the good team was made. So these, the axe guy didn't fuck it up pretty much, right? So it's logical, right? And these things are being spoken about now. So it's not a leap to see that this is going to be used in the future.
Especially if it's been mentioned now.
Yeah.
Like we're in 2025, they're mentioning the guillotine. They're therefore bringing that.
It's like the planets aligning. You know what I mean? It's like everything's just lining up for it. It says, I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. Right? So we're a prime target for Esau. That's why he's got all these fucking lists for us. Right? That's why he watches us. That's why he listens to us. Right? Because he knows he's going to come for in that time, and that we're going to resist his NWO. Right? So if he can get his hands on us, man, this is what he's going to do or try and do to us. So again, he's only self-fulfilling the prophecy. Right? He's behaving in a way that really is not productive to him. Because he's just bringing more blood upon his hands, and he's just again putting himself into that corner where the Lord's going to destroy him anyway. But these things have to come to pass. So like I said, when you see these things come up in the news and that, hey, pay attention, man. Pay attention. It's a sign. These are the signs of the times. It's a sign for you to lock onto, right? Because it's not just a coincidence. How can it be a coincidence when you got a book that's like hundreds and thousands of years old or whatever, telling you about these things in the future? Any brothers got anything? We'll close up soon. Any brothers got anything you want to bring up? No? Okay, then we'll call it here then, man. Hey, man, we'll give all praise and glory to Yahweh, but Hashem, Yahweh Shai, but Hashem, Dash. Double honor to the elders, the apostles, GMS. Shout out to the brothers, out there teaching students what's necessary.